everyone, welcome to the Mystery of Stoneywing Hall. Thank you for joining us tonight for an evening of Dungeons & Dragons. We're thrilled to be here. I'm Emma, I'll be your Dungeon Master for this evening, and we're streaming tonight at twitch.tv/D&D and twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. For those of you who are new to Dungeons & Dragons, we're here playing a fantasy role-playing game. Everyone here is playing a character. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
I've forgotten where I got to now. Why'd you do this to me?
Fantasy characters.
They all have sheets which tell them what they can do. They have stats which tell them like how good they are at different things. Most of them here are probably quite intelligent.
The characters, yeah.
Yes, the characters with the sheets that tell you what you can roll. I'm not telling you what you are. They'll be rolling 20-sided dice most of the time. That's these ones. Tell them what they can do and what they can't do. 20s are usually very good. 1s are very bad. So feel free to kind of clap along, cheer, tell us how you feel in the chat about how they're rolling. While they play their characters, everything else in the universe is played by me. So people they encounter, the weather patterns, scary corridors, you know, whatever they happen to come across.
Ominous.
Well, it's a mystery. There's got to be a scary corridor. So obviously I've invited 5 people here tonight. So we have lots of people. So I'll invite you to give me your name, your pronouns if you wish to, your character's name, their pronouns, and we'll save the descriptions and who they are for when we get further into the story. So we'll start off with Chris.
Hello, I'm Chris. I use they, them pronouns, and I am playing Hazu, who also uses they, them pronouns.
We kick round to George.
Hello, I am George. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Waltazar Korax, known as Walter, who also uses he, him pronouns.
And Pav.
Hi, I'm Pav. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Fifiel Book Wizard, who also uses he, him pronouns.
Amazing. And Anna?
Hello, I'm Anna. I use she, he, and they pronouns, and that's the first time I've said that out loud.
Hey.
I'm playing Arel, who also uses she, he, and they pronouns.
Awesome. And Red?
Hi, I'm Red. I'm playing Dr. Thunder, who uses he, him pronouns. Hello.
Awesome. And I'm Emma, and if you want to refer to me, please just use Emma or M. Before we kick off, we'll be running for about 3 hours this evening. There will be a roughly 5 or 10 minute break in the middle. Because it's all improvised, we're not exactly sure when the middle will be, so you'll get a note when we get there. We have a number of sponsors and supporters. They're arrayed around us. The first one of those is Hero Forge. So we are delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. They make highly customized tabletop miniatures. I should have got one to show you. There is one here.
Yeah.
This is Danae, who was Chris's mini for one of the campaigns that I ran previously. Danae. So words are hard, people.
Lives on my monitor. I think that's okay.
Lives on top of Chris's monitor. So we made Danae together. You can see in one of our previous YouTube videos. Danae is a centaur. So we chose all of the customization. So exactly what she looks like, the hair, the colouring, the positioning, what the axe was. So you can do all of that in Hero Forge. They have lots of different options available, and it's really excellent. And we didn't paint this. This came printed in plastic in colour. So yeah, Hero Forge are incredible. And you can check them out at heroforge.com. We're also sponsored by Ultra Pro. So Ultra Pro do basically everything else for your tabletop. So character folios, dice bags. They're a leading manufacturer of sports and gaming collectible accessories. So what I have today is the adorable Gazer. Here he is. I mean, I say he. He looks really grumpy, so I'm gonna say he.
That's very good, George.
George also has one on the shelf. We love these. We have about 5 in our house. They're great. You will be able to win something from Ultra Pro in the chat. One of our mods will be putting details in there right now. So just chat something. If you're in the UK, we'll be able to post it out to you if you win. So yeah, say something. You might be able to win something from Ultra Pro. And they are at ultrapro.com, so you can find out more about them. We're also supported by D&D Beyond. So basically D&D Beyond do everything about digital D&D. So the books, character sheets, encounter builders. I'm using their encounter builder today for all of the encounters I want to run. Don't look so concerned. And you'll be able to see everyone's character sheets in their digital overlay, which should be on the one of the size of the screen. Somewhere. Yes, so check them out. They're great. We're also supported by Level Up Dice. So Level Up Dice do really intricate dice. I have some with me today. These are their Table Shaker range. They are really, really big. The D10s are ridiculously big. The D20s are slightly smaller, but also ridiculously big because, you know, that's a normal D20. But they're awesome. You can buy them at Level Up Dice. We're also supported by 2 D&D games, so Isle Champions of the Forgotten Realm and Warriors of Waterdeep. There's some codes at the bottom of the screen. You can type ! Isle Champions and ! Warriors of Waterdeep into Twitch chat for download links, and our mods will be able to tell you more about them. So if you want to follow us on socials, we're Roll Together RPG everywhere, and you can also support us on Patreon, join our D20 Club, so yes, please do. Thank you very much to our D20 Club. Very much appreciated. Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans-positive, and we encourage and champion trans players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen, and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instance of misgendering, we're open to being corrected, so please just let us know if you think one's been missed. With that, let's dive into the intro, and then we'll join you back here in a few seconds to start off the one-shot. So, I asked you all to create Teachers of Wizarding who work at Stoneywing Hall, which is situated in the city of Waterdeep. It's run by Stoneywing, who is an Aarakocra necromancer of some renown, who opened the school in her family's ancestral hall. Now, she's the head teacher and she gives advanced necromancy classes. And over the years, she's gathered you all to teach promising students who the Arcane Brotherhood, who are the other famous wizard academy in the Forgotten Realms, wouldn't teach because they weren't wealthy or well-connected enough. The hall's been in operation for about 10 years at this point in time, and you've all been here for varying lengths of time, which I guess we'll find out as the story progresses. So it's a pretty normal day at the hall as we begin, although the inclement weather has trapped all of the staff and students indoors. Dr. Sonder, you can see the rain out of the window of your classroom, and you can see the faces of lots of your students. Some of them look pretty excited. They're, engaging with the lesson you're teaching. Some of them are giving you the usual, hand on the chin, not really paying that much attention. One of them is flat out just lying on the desk. The chalkboard is behind you as you're teaching. What exactly are they looking at?
So at the moment, Dr. Sunder is stood on his usual small flight of stairs, being only 2 foot tall, so the other class can see him, and has a very long piece of chalk, of course, so he can reach the chalkboard behind him, and is going through the rules for casting Tasha's Caustic Brew very carefully, and how it is best to deploy said stream of acid around other people, and finding it very disappointing that no one is listening to him, because he's very excited by it.
So some of the students are listening to you very, very engaged. I mean, the 2 or 3 that you would expect are very much really paying attention. Some of the ones who you're a bit concerned about being a little bit too engaged. But, this is...
I don't think Dr. Sonner would think that you can be too engaged with evocation members.
Fair enough. Before we get too deep into that scene, all of your fellow teachers have classrooms and offices on the same corridor. So it's probably around 10 a.m. What would the rest of you be doing? You could be teaching, you could be studying.
Perhaps. Sorry.
I think Arel is having this. This is not an official class hours, but a very spirited argument with some of their students about erupting Earth and how it would be so much better if it were an evocation spell. And how it should be an evocation spell.
Great. So this is in your office, which is probably right next door to Dr. Saunders' classroom, given that you're both evocation specialists. So you probably teach very close to each other. So this is with one or two of your most engaged. You teach the older students. So this is a couple of the more advanced who are having this argument with you. Fifio?
I will be, so Fifi will be in his classroom and will be inspecting the illusory script of his, I think, like first year students, and just being very biting about the flicks on the Fs and, just like the way in which the illusory script is manifesting in the various handwriting. I'm imagining that maybe one of his students, because illusory script specifies that you have to designate which allies can actually see the script properly. There might be some people that are so scared of him that they haven't actually designated him as an ally, and so he's coming up to them and it looks very wavy and it's very. And
could we get a description of Fifiel?
Yes, so Fifiel is a very small, very stern, very tightly dressed kobold wizard, wizard of the Order of the Scribes, and is always seen carrying a big book on his back, holding a book and a pen, and it's just always taking notes. Very, very neat. I think he only is probably allowed to teach the very early, just because, but he's very, very taxing.
Awesome. And Arel, sorry, we didn't get a description of.
Arel is an Eladrin, so you've got the classic pointy ears, or the the classic elfy stuff. But they are happiest as a summer Eladrin, so very often dressed in kind of a plain yellow shirt with bright red kind of short hair. Often sleeves rolled up, often wearing a stupid pair of high-heeled boots. Just generally strutting around like she owns the place.
Awesome. Walter?
Definitely teaching. I think this less declaiming on the specifics of spells and more just continuing to sketch things out on the chalkboard, incredibly intricate and complicated diagrams explaining the intricacies of how you unweave other people's spells. It's very excited about. But you can imagine the kind of geometric drawing, the big cones and the inexplicable kind of shapes and sort of formulae type workings. Walter's a sort of 6'3" tiefling, red skin and dark hair, and wears sort of formal dapper. So a sort of a 3-piece suit in purples and blues, with it cut off high enough to let him sort of let his hooves breathe. He's very sort of earnest, and I think he probably has a little the round glasses, but it's quite a sort of relaxed presence, because this is what he likes to do, and he sort of does actually trying to coax the students through this. So it's probably just in full swing and not noticing really whether they're paying attention at this point, but we're definitely trying to get across the core of this. Like a gecko.
Hazu?
Is there a library? Can I be in the library?
Yes, there'll be various different libraries throughout this building, because it is a wizard school, so there are a lot of books.
Sure. I would be Hazu would be in a library. They are not good around people. I think their classes are probably the kind of class that people don't attend, and they sort of don't say anything about it and just sort of respect that not everyone wants to spend time with them. Hazu is a centipede person. They're quite sort of about 4 foot tall, sort of small humanoid sized, and they have that slightly sort of rubbery bodied centipede look, but quite prominent mandibles and sort of large bulbous faceted eyes, and 2 eye stalks sort of droop down over the top in a kind of emo-y kind of haircut look more often than not. And they're probably in the library poring over a book that is about as big as themselves, just they're looking for something specific, but it wouldn't be obvious from a first instance what they're looking for. But yeah, sort of quiet pondering away with these sort of slightly they're not clawed, more sort of like the hands have that sort of insectoid looked about them, sort of all carapaced and placed, but they are sort of crawling over various notes, and they're familiarly buzzing around their head, which looks like a sort of large praying mantis.
Cool. So, as established, you're all within earshot, yelling earshot of Dr. Saunders' classroom. Not that that's important. Dr. Sonder.
We haven't had a description of Dr. Sonder yet, which I feel is really relevant here.
Dr. Songer is a grung, a tiny little golden grung frog person with a healthy beard. He's wearing earmuffs, but one is taken back over his ear as he's trying to give a lecture, and he has a small golden frog sat on top of his head, which is his room here. So he's a frog stack. And he wears
Frogs all the way down.
He wears very traditional wizard robes in sort of heavy velvet, but they're all kind of black across the front from who knows what, and sort of tattered at the ends, etc.
Awesome. As you are looking at your students, describing to them exactly where you should point your acid stream, you realise that a couple of them are starting to snigger, which is unusual in your classes. People don't tend to laugh. And as you're looking at them, you realise that more of them are starting to snigger.
I'm very tempted to fireball my own students already. It's like 11 a.m.
Good start. Yeah.
How capable are these students? They're
about 15, 16. They're first years.
What is going on at the back there? Yes. What that expression on your face? What is it for?
One of them looks, the one that you've pointed at, a boy, looks quite startled and just like points at the blackboard.
I will turn around and look at the blackboard, where I'm expecting to see notes.
One part of your notes has been ripped out, and there's just a rude drawing. Of
that is outrageous.
and well, something shooting an acid stream. How you were describing.
We suggest, is it something rude, perhaps potentially genitalia? This is outrageous.
Suggestive at best.
The student who was full on lying on the desk is now just laughing, full out laughing.
I will fireball myself. See if there's anyone stood near me, but I will make sure that I don't hit myself.
So,
how big's your classroom?
How big is my classroom?
You probably can't fireball yourself without getting some of the students.
I'm very upset about this.
Who did this?
One of your eager students. Nobody did it. The chalk just picked itself up and started writing.
This is a magic school. This is not my first day working in a magic school. Whoever is invisible in here, you come out right now, and I will just singe your hair.
Right, hang on.
Oh God.
One sec.
That's such a great voice.
Would a 18 hit you?
Absolutely it would.
A book flies off one of the shelves and slams into you.
Okay, fine. I'll just
and
live with that.
You take.
You got a shield?
I do, but I'm conscious that there might be a lot to get through before I start saying I've already tried to use a third level.
10 points of force damage.
Oh, we're wizards.
That's a lot. That's
what? So much.
A couple of your students like stand up and start moving backwards.
That's fair. Keep calm. There is something very unusual going on here.
I will howl at the top of my frog voice. which is a traditional grung signal of alarm, in the hope of rousing.
Red, for context, very important, how often have we all heard this?
I think for Dr. Sonder, he's possibly been in trouble quite a few times. So it might be a sound. It's not necessarily a sound that you would respond to, but it's certainly a sound you've probably heard.
Okay.
Like often when he tries to fireball his own students, right?
You all hear the grung alarm call from Dr. Sonder.
Right, we'll come back to this. I need to deal with Sonder. One second.
And I think at this point, we should probably roll initiative.
Whoa, it's quick.
Wow. Okay.
Hey!
Yeah.
Not a bad start.
Mediocre.
Oh, that's sad.
All right, what do we got?
14.
So,
12.
8.
Same as me.
I'm so squishy.
Yes.
Hang on. Somebody got a 12.
Yes, that was me, sorry.
And then somebody got an 8.
Pav and me.
Great.
Right.
Hazu, you're in the library when the...
Oh dear. I'm going to look at my familiar and just...
Do you want to find out what's going on?
I mean, it's got a very definite voice. The man is... and just sort of goes flying off. I've left the door open so it can fly out. So
How far can your mantis move?
my mantis can move 60 feet.
It flies into the classroom where Dr. Sonder is howling.
Cool. I will look through my familiar's eyes and see Dr. Sonder howling and being battered by a book.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to slowly get up and start toddling my way over out of the library towards the door to find out what's going on, but technically my familiar goes after I do, so...
That's fine. You're making your way.
Yeah.
You will arrive.
Sorry, that's assuming the my familiar goes... I could roll its own initiative if you want, or
That's
I can
fine.
just have it go after.
Have it go on your turn.
Yeah, fine.
So if you're not going fast, you'll get there next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Are you deliberately going slowly?
Yeah, nervous and slightly apprehensive. If my familiar is going, can I make a perception check?
Sure.
Has advantage on those. It's based on owl. That is a 19.
Well, there is something definitely wrong near the bookcase. It's invisible, so
Okay.
I can't see it, but there's definitely something.
There's something moving around the bookcase.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Rolled a very poor stealth check.
Yay, familiars.
Walter.
I'm going to assume that the students have essentially like the equivalent of like the sort of magical training toys, like a little sort of levitating sphere or something that they can practice abjuration magic on. Well, I'll just see what that is. You just practice on those, see if any of you can do it. I'll collect my books off my desk and like walk underarm, sort of sweep out of the classroom down the corridor to see what the alarm is. And I'll head to someone's classroom if I can
So
get that far.
you can get to the classroom.
And sweep in and see this. I see. Not another one of your experiments, Sonder.
Nothing to do with me.
Is it? Am I aware that there is an invisible creature there?
No.
Okay, I will use my action to make a perception check in that case. Try and. Well, I mean, I guess can I make with the same kind of thing in mind? Can I make an Arcana check to try and work out what the phenomenon is? I'm happy.
Yeah,
How would
absolutely.
you feel about my familiar pointing?
Yeah, that's fine.
You've probably met my familiar before who doesn't have a name, just sort of buzzing, just sort of points praying mantis sort of like meh, and looks at you and just
I look between the mantis and the. I see. Can I dispel magic? Lets me target a creature magical effect or something else. A third thing. Creature, object, or magical effect within range.
That you can see?
Can I... It doesn't say you can see.
Oh.
So can I try and dispel the invisibility if I can't see it?
You can. I'll give you this for free because it's spellmedic, it's a 3rd level spell. You might want to make that Arcana roll first.
I will make the Arcana roll to see what's what. That is that's 26.
You have a hunch that it's probably... It seems more like... You've heard of poltergeist before.
Yes. Well, it looks like we might be dealing with a poltergeist situation. Do I know anything about poltergeists and the banishing or exorcising thereof?
They're quite mischievous. They like to have a bit of fun. The drawing on the chalkboard also gave you a bit of a hint, as well as the book. They can be quite dangerous. They are generally invisible. They are ghosts. Yep.
Students, if you could make your way down the corridor, go to my classroom down the corridor, second one on the left. You just take refuge there for the moment. We'll see if we can't sort this out. Is violence the best answer to a poltergeist?
Unless you've got a cleric present, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna rain frost in that case. Which I presume is with disadvantage if it's invisible?
Yes, since you can't see it.
Okay. Oh, one of those is a natural 20. The other one is not. It's a 3 on dice, which makes it a 9. No.
Unfortunately not, no.
Gosh, I'm just going to hang out near the entrance of the classroom.
Cool. Aral.
Can I bump into George's back since I'm blind and deaf while looking through my familiar? Oh, sorry.
Just guide you in with a hand.
So I'd like to go just straight into the classroom. I think the first thing that probably catches their eye is the drawing. So can I go and examine it? Can I tell it's the acid thing? Tasha's, what was it?
Caustic brew.
Caustic brew. Can I tell that's what it's meant to be?
I mean, it looks like how Dr. Sonder would describe Tasha's caustic brew, but if someone drew it coming out of a penis...
Oh, no.
I think just kind of genuine interest at this drawing. It's like, why do your students do this, Sonder?
Apparently not. Apparently we're under attack by some kind of malevolent force.
Oh, right, okay. And then in Brain knows, I'll come back to this another time. Turns round. Do I know there's a poltergeist?
You don't know. The praying mantis is pointing in the general direction of the poltergeist. You can't see it unless you make a perception check, which would take your action.
I think, given that, kind of do a thing first, ask a question later. I think I'd like to try and cast Firebolt in the general direction. I'm assuming that would be with disadvantage.
Sure.
Isn't that one?
You set the row of books on fire.
Great. Of course I do.
So far, so predictable. Good.
On its turn... Yes. I think we will do that.
Uh-oh. Lucky path.
Oh, I don't know. Yes, that is a good call. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dr. Sonder, please could you make a strength check?
I could make a weakness check. Oh, that's a 6 and a -1. That's a 5.
I mean, I only rolled a 10, but
That is Mathematically, that is higher.
You are lifted 30 feet into the air.
How high are the ceilings?
30 feet.
Oh.
That's from mana.
You then are dropped.
Oh, can I cast Featherfall?
Hey!
Of course you can.
Wizard, I'll use my reaction to cast. I'll just double check I have Featherfall prepared. I do. Good. Okay. So I sort of flick a hand out, a sort of bluish energy will cushion you from underneath as you descend rather more gracefully than you would have otherwise.
Did have this.
No, nothing happens. But yes, a book falls off the shelf. A burning book falls off the shelf as if knocked in distaste. Dr. Sunder, it is your turn.
How much of a sense of its location has Dr. Sunder picked up? Would I be able to, for example, narrow it down to if I aimed something that was 5 feet wide in that kind of an area? Would I be able to hit it? How big is the room?
The room is probably about 30 foot square, and the praying mantis is pointing in general direction. I'd say you could get 5 foot.
5 foot. Well, then I would use as an example to my students who, if there's any left or clustered in the hall, they've all been sent away, of course. But a perfect opportunity for Tasha's caustic brew, which I love a practical demonstration.
Are you summoning it out of your hands?
Do fox have penises?
Yes.
Is that how it works? Dr. Sunder is a humble man. He's not.
Don't give the poltergeist any more ideas.
He will summon it from his hands and cast a stream of acid, which emanates in a 30-foot line, guided, as in I've positioned myself so I'm not hitting my colleagues, and anyone. Blah, 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 blah. If you could make a dexterity saving throw for the poltergeist.
I have rolled a 13.
And a 15 would be the DC. So you're now covered in acid, which might make you more visible to our assembled party, and will remain so until you use an action to rub it off.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's everything, isn't it?
Is there damage?
No. You take 2d4 at the beginning of each turn until you scrape it off.
Cool. So
other books.
There's now like the outline of a bird person. An Aarakocra. You're familiar with Aarakocra because the hall is run by Aarakocra. Urk is an Aarakocra. This looks familiar in shape to her. She's a blue jay, so she has quite a pointed back to her head. This bird also has quite a familiar pointed back, but it has proper wings. It's not just floating. It looks like it's flying out of habit. And you can now see the outline of it hovering by the bookcase. Viviel.
Yeah. I think Viviel tells his most feeble student to continue the lesson, and then marches around and sees what's going on, sees that there are books burning, pays attention to nothing else, and attempts to use prestidigitation to try and put out the books, either by trying to chill them or like snuff out the flame.
You can use prestidigitation to snuff fire.
I'll do that. And then I will look at who do I think did it?
I mean, it was either Dr. Sunder or Aral.
Yeah,
One of two, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna roll a d6. Okay, yeah. I look at Dr. Sunder and I say, honestly, get your classes together, man.
I'm so sorry.
Amazing. So everyone is now in the room. Hazu.
I can now see through my eyes again. Sorry, familiars, constant reminders. So there's a visible acid-drenched ghost Aarakocra.
Yes.
Cool. Hazu is terrified. I'm going to back up behind Walter which probably happens quite a lot. And I will send in my mantis.
Clowns? What?
No, my mantis. I'm sending my mantis, who will fly forward, and I will cast Shocking Grasp through the mantis. So as the mantis flies forward, its claws just start sparking up, and it just tries to cut as it goes. It has flyby, so it can fly past as it does this. Hang on, just checking that that's correct, because flyby plus spell.
Because we're using a slightly different stat block.
No, it's just an owl. It uses the owl stat block. It's a stat restrictions. It can't attack, but it can do that. So, sorry, familiars. It's a +8 to attack. Is it visible? Can I see it? Or is it still invisible but covered in bits of acid, so it's a disadvantage?
I'm going to say that you can see it. Like, it's clear where it is. So.
Sweet. So, slash and then fly past, so it's out of range of anything direct. Ooh, 25.
Yes, that will hit.
Yes.
The poltergeist.
Yes. And as it goes, just and then goes past.
Is it the praying mantis from Kung Fu Panda?
No, that one is Seth Rogen, and that doesn't sound like. I mean, I've not seen Seth Rogen recently, but yeah. There'll be. Hey. No, 14 points of damage.
The Aarakocra bird recoils back slightly from the claws.
And I'm just behind Walter going, and just staying out of sight behind Walter as much as possible.
Fair. I think we would all hide behind Walter if we could. Mm-hmm. Walter.
Seems very sort of out of all of these people.
We've probably been here a while and it's very just another day of shenanigans to be dealing with.
Honestly, George, it's the respectability more than anything else.
I'm going to make myself a good shelter for Hazu. And in which case I'll go with another ray of frost if I can see clearly enough to not require
absolutely.
That is 15.
Yes, 15 hits.
Hooray. 9 divided by d8, 2d8. Cold damage, that's quite good. 13 points of cold damage, and if it matters, its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Sorry, I should have halved the 14, because it's non-magical. Which...
the 14 is magical. It's a cantrip.
No, that one, your familiars was non-magical.
No, it wasn't. Shocking Grasp, it's magic.
But what type of damage is it?
Lightning.
Yes, no, halved. And a cold was...
Cold was 13 points of damage.
Which is halved to... 6.
And its speed is reduced if such things matter. It appears to be resistant to the cold. I'll just continue to keep back and let the exploding people...
Arel.
Maybe it might be too early for a second level spell.
I mean, we've all only used cantrips so far. I mean...
that's not true. You know what?
That's true.
I am going to do it. I want to cast web and try and pin the poltergeist against the wall.
Cool. So you cast it and then it takes effect when it starts its turn in the area, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how does your web take effect? What does it look like?
It's a wonderful question. Right, I have to talk a thing, do a thing, and hold a thing. So I think Arel has several rings that all contain the things that they need to do their spells, and one of these rings is in the shape of a spider, so Arel flips one of the legs of the spider up, and a bit of web comes out of it. And so she spins the web round of her finger and says something in Latin to do with arachnids, and then just points, and the web comes out of their finger.
Nice.
Just onto the wall.
Cool. And it is indeed the poltergeist's turn. So what does it need to do?
It needs therapy. It needs to roll a dexterity saving throw.
It has rolled a 17.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And
yeah, it's fine.
It takes some acid damage.
2d4. Oh, should I roll that?
Please do.
Probably takes full acid damage, doesn't it?
It unfortunately does not.
Oh, it takes 7 acid damage, or half.
To 3.
Oh.
You dropped a dice.
I have dropped dice. I have more. It's fine.
Cool. So on its turn, it's just gonna try throwing the books again because it saw that the book's burning made for feel mad. So it's gonna do that. It's gonna throw a book at Arel. So Arel does an 8 hit you?
No, it doesn't.
And another book slams off the shelf at Harzu.
I have cover behind Walter.
We'll take the hit if I have to.
Walter, does a 22 hit you?
Yeah, it does. I'm not going to waste a shield spell just to get that online. So go ahead.
There's nothing I can do as a reaction, I'm afraid.
You take 9 points of force damage as this slightly smouldering book that's been put out slams into you.
I do hunch over a little bit as this hurts. It hurts a lot.
This is unusual. The poltergeist has only done one thing previously. You were all intelligent enough to note, those of you who were here. Dr. Sonder, it is your turn.
Can I just confirm, did the poltergeist move or is it still in the web? I know it's not restrained by the web, but is it still in it?
Let me just check how intelligent they are. It's flown slightly away from the web.
Damn it, fine.
Also, it's a ghost, right? So it can't be affected by it.
Why not?
It would have been good to know that before I cast the damn thing.
Yeah. It is immune to being restrained.
Right.
Is ghost.
But we can still see it because it's still got acid on it, correct?
Yes.
But there were 2 books.
But there were 2 books suggesting there are 2 poltergeists in the room.
Be my guess.
Did we see it throw both, or does it have to pick them up to throw both, or is it just?
I mean, it could be magic, couldn't it?
It did pick up the one that it threw at you.
Okay.
And then did the other one come from like somewhere else?
It came off the same shelf, but you didn't see it pick it up.
Okay. Oh, it's so early in the day to be burning spells. Choices. I think I might. How far did the one that moved move away from the webs?
Probably only
was
about,
it within 5 feet?
Yeah, only about 5 feet, just so that. I mean, it would.
Okay.
Knowing that it doesn't need to move, it probably wouldn't, because there's a whole shelf of books there. So.
Oh, and it's immune to that effect. It does.
Yeah.
It's not okay. Then that doesn't really help. In that case, I will chuck a poison spray at the thing that I can see.
What's your intelligence?
18.
Goes through immune to poison.
Oh God! Do I know what it's not immune to? Is it immune to what? Harsh language?
I mean, are you a bard? Because that's
the literal thing.
Ghosts are resistant to basically most things, if not immune to very specific stuff. Usually poison and necrotic, but I don't know about poltergeists.
They're immune to necrotic. You think I
Ghost,
would know?
yeah.
Is there anything that should I roll? I'm happy to roll, but is there anything that they're particularly not immune to, or
force damage?
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
Has no one got magic missile? Is that what I'm asking? There we go. There we go.
I don't want to waste another spell. Okay. I was being thematic with my frogs, so everything is poison and acid.
Acid's fun.
The acid is damaging it, it's just resistant.
Okay, then I will chuck an acid splash in the damn thing's direction. If it could make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Sure can.
Do you spit these out?
No. Nothing so crude as that. It's all hand magic.
Oh, okay.
It's well, sorry, I'm laughing at hand magic, which
Well, we know what's written on the board.
roll a 12. Your hand magic worked on it. Sorry.
The hand magic is terrifying. You take half of 4. Please take 2.
It's
Acid
looking
damage.
it's looking like there are splotches of where you've sprayed it with acid. There are splotches of it starting to like melt away.
Okay, that feels particularly good. Okay, that's me. That's my tick.
Fifiel. It's been thrown in the books.
Yeah, I'm very angry about the books, but
Go on, right in the sky.
I have no damaging spells. I was going to ask Emma, is it okay if I have a dagger, like a very simple dagger?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to use it now, but just in general, because I realised that like I literally have no damage. I have a +4 to Dex because kobold, so like. I think what Fifiel does is Fifiel pulls out from the spine of the book that he's holding. He pulls out like a kind of thickish, like quite well worn piece of copper, and just holds it to his temple. It's like a wand, like this, as if he's just very tired of the shenanigans, and just makes a very judgmental tisk. And would like to cast Detect Thoughts in the room, please.
Oh, interesting. What does Detect Thoughts allow you to do, and do I need to make any rolls?
So it's a Wisdom 14 saving throw for all the thinking things in the room with an intelligence of more than 3.
You get some stuff before a saving throw, I think. I think you get stuff even like you can push further.
Creatures.
You don't need a saving throw for that.
Oh, it's not even so. Oh, I get the surface.
Yeah, it's only if you probe deeper that you get to make a saving throw.
Oh,
so obviously there are all your friends in here, and you can also sense the thoughts of 2 other creatures by the bookshelf.
Okay.
Generally, they are they're almost childlike, like the kind of things you would expect from a child who's not really being parented at all, and it's just him being like, "Ooh, I can do whatever I want now. I can throw this thing and I can draw on the board, and ooh, this is fun." And like doesn't really understand the gravity of what they're doing or the fact that it's hurting people. Is just trying to like, that kind of thing.
Okay. I would like to and maybe George or Chris or anyone that knows if you can help me with this, because it says that you can like speak and that can shift the attention of their thoughts, but I don't know at what point you're like it says that, so yeah, unless you I don't know if that's like as in like because free action to speak, but then how many times am I detecting thoughts in a turn and how that interacts? I don't actually
There are no set rules on this because it's designed to be out of combat usage, so
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
You can just hear it constantly.
Okay, well, I guess in which case I would just use a free action of speaking to say to the group, they don't seem to understand what they're doing, though they are making a rather large mess. Excuse me, if you could go away, please, that would be wonderful. I have some teaching to do. And then I guess end there and just see where we're at if another round comes around.
Cool. Hazu.
There's more than one. People are getting hurt, especially Walter, who is, nice. I'm going to sort of start rubbing my hands together, and I tend to summon things as part of my magic to make things happen, but I'm genuinely summoning a thing. I'm going to summon the choices. I've given myself so many choices. I am going to summon a shadow spirit, and it's a fury shadow spirit.
Nice.
So it is a wasp. A medium-sized wasp, so it's a 5-foot-tall wasp, is going to sort of...
What you're looking for is nightmare.
I'm going to basically, my summon magic is all very sort of pinky and bluey and quite sort of fae-themed, and it's just going to go, help, and just reach out and just, and this sort of wasp just comes flying out of the Feywild. I call it forth.
Right.
It shares my initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after mine, which is easy enough. I can give it verbal commands. If I don't issue any, it takes the dog action.
It takes the dog action.
Dodge. Deal with those things. And the wasp just they come flying in. It's awful looking. It's a horrible, like, gigantic fey wasp.
this thing comes past my shoulder. Oh, good lord!
You've probably seen me do it before. Like
you don't expect it to sneak up on you.
Nobody expects the Spanish. Yeah, it's going to fly in. It has advantage on attack. As a bonus action, it'll give itself advantage on its next attack roll. It has multi-attack, so it gets to attack twice.
Is it attacking the invisible one or the visible one?
I think the first one will be at the visible one because that is an attack roll. Is it with disadvantage the attack roll?
It's currently flat on the one that's visible and with disadvantage on the one that's invisible.
Can I attack the one that's invisible, so it's a flat roll, and then attack the one that's visible for the...
Yes, you can.
I think you only get one attack. It's half the spell level that you use to cast it.
Hang on. Makes a number of attacks equal to half this spell's level round. It's only one attack. You are right. Thank you, Red. So it's going to make one attack against the one that is visible. No, against the invisible one, because that way it can just make a flat roll.
Choose and roll.
Thank you. It flies in. That is a spell attack mod to hit, plus 18 to hit.
Yes, that hits. Are its attacks magical?
Yes, they are. Yeah, it includes force damage, so yeah. Oh, no. 1d3. No, so part of it is, part of it isn't.
Can you roll it separately, please?
Yes, of course. So the slash does 9 points of piercing damage, which is halved.
To 4?
Yep. And then it also does force damage on top of that, which is another 4 on top of that, which is not halved.
Excellent.
And it's going to stay in melee with it and just like vicious, big, angry, hornet-like wasp.
Buzzing at something invisible.
Yeah.
Grand.
Follows my commands.
Walter. That just happened.
I do hate it when they do that. Yes, well, I'll snap my fingers onto something similarly latinate and sort of summon a bunch of just individual barbs of bluish force, landing missile, and just flick my hand out to send them at the visible one. So I'll cast second level to do 4 darts.
It's looking pretty hurt. There are holes in it where the acid is sort of eating away at it.
First level, which is 3 darts. Thank you. That is what's that? 5, 6, 7, that's 9, and that's very good rolls. That's 14 force damage.
As they sort of pile into it, it fades out of existence, and the acid sort of plops onto the floor.
Nice.
Just eating through the classroom floor.
It's definitely sizzling into one of the books.
Oh, God.
I've said it before, these classrooms need reinforced floors.
How many floors up are we? How problematic is this going to be?
You're on the ground floor.
Okay.
As far as you're aware, there's nothing underneath you. You've never seen a basement.
Curious. Suspicious.
Is there any sign that the other poltergeist is still in the room?
The wasp is angrily buzzing around something.
So, yes, fine.
Arel, it is your turn.
Given that the wasp is buzzing around something, can I tell vaguely where this other thing is?
You're kind of aware of its location. You can't see it.
It would be a disadvantage.
For an attack roll, yes.
Fine, I'm gonna just firebolt again. Why not? Oh, for fuck's sake, that would have been so good. Does a 13 hit?
13 does. They've got very low AC. Yeah.
Yay! So that's 2d10 fire damage.
Yep.
That's 14 fire damage.
Ooh, half to 7. Excellent.
Oh god, are they bloody resistant to fire and all?
Yeah. Ghosts.
As you fire this bolt of fire at it, could you make me a strength check, please, Arel?
We're all good at these.
That's a 2.
I rolled a 5. I was expecting you to do better.
No.
As you hurl this bolt of fire at it, and it you can't see it hit, but it does. You realise that you're being lifted into the air, and you are slammed into the ceiling. Cool. And you take 15 points of damage.
Ooh. Of course I do. Yes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot.
Do I slam into the ceiling and stay there, or slam into the ceiling and then fall immediately back down to the floor?
You're currently being held by the ceiling.
I see.
Dr. Sonder.
That's worrisome. How high is the ceiling?
About 30 feet.
That's difficult. Might have to leave you up there, I think.
It's fine.
It doesn't look very good, though. Members of the faculty.
Elevated to a lofty position.
Very nice. I'm gonna. So there's still one more that's invisible, right? That's where we're at in the situation. I hate being
harassed by a wasp.
Management of resources.
You wash your mouth out. Being a wizard is great.
I just, it's the administration that I can't handle, George. I'm like, 4 spell slots.
I agree.
when should I use them?
Don't forget you can regame on a short rest.
Right, but I want to use them all now. That's the issue.
I mean, that's every caster class, Red. Come on.
That's I was happy with a warlock. No matter how bad it gets. Anyway, I will. I think I'm gonna cast jump. No, I can't do it. I can't do both. Never mind.
I've got Anna if you want to.
Okay, that's fine. In that case, I'm going to attempt to just acid splash the invisible one. So with
Please do.
Do I know enough about where it is to try and hit it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It'd just be disadvantage.
Cool.
It's an attack roll.
It's not. It's a dex save.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I rolled a natural one, so
Hey.
Does that mean I get to do critical damage? Okay. Take 3. Haha.
half to 1.
This is going to be the longest ever. It's like,
Oh god.
Fifiel, there is still poltergeist. There's also a book dissolving into acid on the floor. You can hear the poltergeist being like, play. Fun books.
I want to shout, where are you from? And what are they, do they think, like...
They think downstairs, which is odd, because there is no downstairs.
Okay. I would like to, if you're okay with this, and totally veto it if it's not right. I would like to cast Sending and say to and basically send a message to Urk saying, I am in the middle of a lesson and there are 2 ghosts in Sonder's classroom and books are being ruined. That's the message.
You don't get a response, which is odd. Ooh.
Dead.
Suspicious.
If it's okay, before the end of my turn, can I pass that information on to everyone about the downstairs and not getting a response from
Yeah,
that?
of course.
Cool. I do that.
Let's hear it.
I say, well, Urk's not here, and they are apparently from downstairs, and there is no downstairs, so yes.
I mean, you'd be able to send to work even if she wasn't here. So that's
Yeah. Urk is maybe dead.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Someone didn't return your call and you assume they're dead? That is...
Well, that or rude, and which is worse?
Hazu.
I'm going to cast Web under where... would Web protect Arel from the falling damage? Or can I cast it in a corner that would catch them if they fell, but would negate the falling damage issue? Or can I cast Levitate on Arel as the other option?
What's the rules on Web?
Web. You conjure a mass of thick, sticky webbing at a point of your choice within range. Fill a 20-foot cube. Difficult terrain, lightly obscured. If they aren't anchored between 2 solid masses, they collapse. A creature that starts its turn in the webs or that enters them during its turn must make a dex saving throw. They're restrained by the webs. It can action to break a strength check to break free, and they're flammable. That's all it says.
Would just like to remind you that I am an Eladrin.
So you can teleport as a bonus action.
Okay.
Then in which case I won't bother. Thank you. Then in which case I'll just peering up from behind water still, almost taking no actions at all. The familiar and the wasp are both going to attack because I can use my action to give shocking grasp to the familiar. So as I'm just you get these two sort of flying in and both attacking.
Please do.
Right, so the shocking grasp, it's still invisible, yes?
Yes, it is still invisible.
Disadvantage, that is an 11 to hit.
11 just doesn't hit.
Okay, the shocking grasp, the familiar just goes round, fly by again, misses. The fuming fae will use a bonus action, give itself
Fuming
advantage.
fae is a good name for a wasp. They are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fae has advantage on the next attack
Yes,
roll it
please,
makes, so
please,
that's
yeah,
just a flat
same as
roll.
last time.
That is a non-natural 20 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
Okay, I'll do the non-magical damage is 3 halved, so that's 3. I halved it for you, and another 4 on top, so 7 total.
The wasp is slashing at something, and then it feels like it sort of pokes out of existence.
Huh.
Okay.
And all is calm in the classroom.
I throw another acid splash at where it was, just to be careful.
Goes straight through. You are burning more books.
It's
Thunder, please.
Important to be careful.
Yes, I agree.
Fithiel, what was it you said about Urk being perhaps dead?
Well, I sent him a message, and there was no reply, as far as I'm aware.
That usually means they can't reply, which could be a number of different factors. There are a lot of considerations with the.
Yes. This is not another lesson. This is. I know it's true. It's important, but we have to. I mean, poltergeist in the classroom and Urk missing. Do you not see how much of a problem this could be?
They look like Aarakocra poltergeists as well, which could be some kind of factor in their connection between Urk and missing and them being there.
Where are my students? Students!
I'm going to head out into the corridor.
Your students are safely ensconced in Walter's classroom.
Are they behaving in there if I peek through the window? No, okay, I'm not going in. I will just slam the door open really quickly and just stand there kind of arms folded.
The half who are like actually doing the work just look at you. The other half kind of like sheepishly wander back to desks and start picking up the cubes that they're supposed to be working on and
That's right.
working on them.
Put Simpkins down. That's it. Back to us.
Please tell me one of the kids has copied the drawing on this blackboard as well.
You do spot out of the corner of your eye a little drawing on a desk, which definitely has been copied.
Just acid splash that corner of the desk, I think.
You destroy the drawing.
I'll return to the others.
You could go to Urk's assistant to her study to see if he's seen her. She has an assistant called Gilmer, who's Dragonborn. You can see she's in her office.
So I think that's rather a good idea. We should check on the faculty situation.
I'll follow you.
Yeah, anyone else? I mean,
Yes, no, absolutely. Let's go. Let's not waste any time.
Aurel is currently not listening. In the ceiling, he has got out a notebook and is looking at the drawing and like making notes just upside down, not paying attention at all to what's happening
when
below.
the poltergeist disappeared from existence, you would have started falling. So.
Then he's on the floor looking up and.
Did you take the falling damage, or are you?
Did you teleport? Would you have teleported?
Nah, just take the damage. It's fine. I don't think they care.
It's another 7.
Crunch.
Can I take the potion of healing from the first aid kit in this classroom?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Probably going to do the same thing, actually. I'm assuming the evocation classrooms are rather better stocked than mine.
And rubber floors.
I'm going to say there are 3 healing potions in this classroom. So,
I mean, if anyone else takes it, they can take one over me if they want to. But...
Just to be clear, the Wasp and my Praying Mantis Familiar both are here now. They last a long time. The Shadow Fae lasts for an hour, I think.
What are their intelligences?
7, 8.
The Shadow Spawn has an intelligence of 4. So you could get its thoughts if you wanted to.
At the end of the minute, can I just... What is the Shadow Spawn thinking? Like...
Unbelievable. Here again.
Love that its inner monologue is, oh, it's unbelievable. Here again. But for now you get...
I'm just gonna say I agree, and then I would like to basically just I think probably around Arel be casting prestidigitation and just mopping up books and trying to put them into neat piles before following Walter and the others.
Also going to cast Mage Armor because there's shenanigans afoot, and I'm going to use that to put up my arcane ward just in case.
Sure, seems like a sensible time to do so.
I don't have Mage Armor. Or shield.
And yes, just to clarify that, I definitely said out loud to everyone within earshot that about the thing with Urk, and then also about the downstairs, just so you all have that information.
Have you ever heard any rumors about there being a basement, or perhaps heard weird noises, or no? Nothing.
Nope.
Now I think about it, have I ever seen any doors that lead suspiciously to nowhere, or no? Okay.
Nope. So as you're heading to Urk's study, you need to go upstairs. Now, this building didn't have stairs before it became a school because it's an Aarakocra family home, so obviously they would not need stairs. So the stairs you're going up have been newly put in about 10 years ago, so they are the newest part of the building. And as you head upstairs to the study, sat outside her study at quite a large desk is a copper dragonborn. He's called Gilmere. He's quite personable. He's not a wizard, but he is a very good administrator. He does most of the scheduling, and he's also there to give advice to students if necessary when they don't want to talk to any of you. So his desk is quite messy. It's covered in bits of paper, but you will know from interacting with him that he can always put a hand to whatever he needs. He knows exactly where everything is, even though if you try to interact with it, it will be a disaster. He's sat there at the moment. He's looking quite more nervous than usual. He's kind of clasping his hands a little bit, which is unusual behaviour for him.
You're right.
Oh, Arel, Walter, Hazu, Fifiel. Oh, gosh, Dr. Sonder as well. You're all here. Yes, I have you seen Urk this morning?
No, actually, I just messaged her and she did not respond.
We were coming here to talk to her.
Yes, I haven't seen her. She didn't go for breakfast, which is unusual. Don't you think? She usually eats breakfast.
Yes.
I think she may be dead.
He goes as white as a dragonborn can go. I not. She's a very good.
We shouldn't jump to any conclusions, but there's also been a poltergeist instance in Dr. Saunders' classroom, and there's something clearly is amiss here today.
Oh.
We do need another clean-up in classroom 14. I'm sorry.
I'll get someone on it.
Thank you.
It's nothing unusual there.
Also, you know anything about a basement?
I've never heard anything about a basement. I mean, when we had the stairs put in, we only had them in from the ground floor upwards. There was nothing needed to go in further down.
Can I insight
tell
check?
if...
Yeah.
I'm not rolling insight check. I have a wisdom of 9.
Oh, natural 1 plus 3.
That's an 11.
He as far as he's aware, they put stairs in going up from the ground floor to the second floor. I mean, gosh, if Urk's not responding, maybe someone should check her office to make sure she's not in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you permit us to? Yes, access.
Oh, yes, of course. He opens the door.
While he turns his back to try to go and open the door, can I just arrange some of the papers more neatly on his desk?
Are you trying to do so stealthily?
No. There's no shame.
Make wizards, they said.
As he turns back, he looks down at his desk and he goes, "Oh, right. Thank you, Fifiel. Yes, great."
Yes, you're welcome. Don't make a habit of it. And I walk past sassily.
I think Fifiel is very helpful and everyone's happy. I have a terrible insight score. I take everything at face value.
As you step into Urk's study, most of you have been in here before when you've come to see Urk or when you were hired. Arel, perhaps you've been in here slightly more often.
Yeah.
Why?
Conversations about your approach to teaching, perhaps.
Yeah. The inappropriate nature of everything about Arel.
You're still teaching though, so it's nothing's gone particularly wrong.
Once you've got tenure, it's very hard to fire a teacher.
And Arel is brilliant.
As far as Arel thinks. So the study is a very high-ceilinged room. There are bookcases with filled shelves all the way up the walls. And we're talking like 100 feet high and books all the way up, well above the reach of any humanoid. There are no ladders in sight. Shielding off your view of the top of the room, there's a little sort of mezzanine level platform. None of you have ever been up that far. About halfway up the wall, there is a large chalkboard set into the bookcase. You can't read the writing on it from down here. And there are large skylights in the roof, letting in daylight. You can hear the rain pouring down on them. And that is what you can see in here. Her desk is at ground level, so you can see her desk, and you sat opposite her. This is very much set up so that she can have interactions with people who are in here, but the rest of it is set up for her. Yes.
Can I find my disciplinary file and read it?
Please roll me an investigation check.
Just for fun. That's a 15.
You do find the staff files. There is a file detailing Urk's concerns about you, and mostly about your indifference to the students, apart from the ones who are interested in your particular brand of research. There's nothing in there that you don't know already. She's not indiscreet. Yeah.
Damn it.
Is it juicy, Arel?
I can try and find yours.
Sure. I've worked here quite a while. I'm hoping it's quite meaty by this point.
I'm going to guess that Urk isn't visible while they're doing this.
You can't see Urk in here. Dr. Saunders' file is also in here. It's mostly a detailed list of every single explosion that's happened, every injury that's happened to a student. The one time that a student accidentally touched Dr. Sonder and got poisoned.
Yeah. I kind of read out some of the greatest hits.
13 days since injury, and then just cross that out with a biro.
And then can I just scribble down there was a poltergeist at the bottom? And then cross it out and write 2 poltergeists! Exclamation mark.
Sure.
Great.
No, go for it.
I would like to attempt to use my Sage background researcher feature to find the architectural drawings that may be in this office.
Absolutely.
So clever.
So, read me about your sage background.
So it says, when you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you do not know that information, you often know where and from whom you can obtain it. Usually this information comes from a library, scriptorian, university, or a sage, or other learned person. Your DM might rule that the knowledge you seek is secreted away, or in an almost inaccessible place, and then it's not relevant, but otherwise you should be able to find it.
Sure. So as you're looking round the bookshelves, and you can see kind of, as you're assessing it, how this has been catalogued, and you can spot the books that are about buildings, and as you start to assess them, you can see one that is just called Stoneywing Hall. It's been handwritten. It must have been by an ancestor of Urk. It's by an author called Seed Stoneywing. I love Aarakocra names; they're great.
Can I just ask before I start reading it, how is the handwriting?
It's quite. It looks like the handwriting of someone whose general handwriting was quite not neat, but they've made a real effort to try and write very neatly in this book.
Then I shall make an effort to read it.
Roll me an investigation check to find what you're looking for in the book.
That is a 14.
So as you're flicking through the book, you find in the kind of not the glossary, but like the bit at the front which tells you what's in the book, there is a reference to a room that you've never heard of before, which is the crypt.
Oh.
And as you flip to that section of the book details a passage to the crypt, which is through a bookcase in one of the rooms. And if you reference where that room is, it's actually in your classroom.
Oh.
The whole time.
Secret bookcase.
I pass on this information to everyone after going over the problems with the handwriting to everyone, so whether or not you pay attention all the way through.
Can my familiar fly up the tower, just basically looking for Urk to see if Urk is? You said there was a mezzanine we can't see into, that sort of thing. Just to take a look around. It's flying up. Can I roll a perception check with advantage because perceptive familiar?
Sure.
Yeah, that's good. That is a 20, non-natural.
Sure, so Urk isn't here. As the familiar gets up to the mezzanine level, this is actually her sleeping quarters. So there is a bed up here, and there is like a little sort of book stand with a little lamp on it. And on the book stand there is like another like handwritten journal, one of the ones that's like leather bound and has like notes stuffed into it. You could have looked at the chalkboard on the way up if you wanted to see what was on it.
I'll look through my familiar's eyes. I won't tell anyone I'm doing it, so I'm not going to move, but if someone gets near me, I just won't know that they're there.
So the chalkboard has some markings on it of different rituals. You could roll an Arcana check to find out what they are. Like I said, there's the journal next to the bed.
That's a 23 on the Arcana check.
So they look like they're rituals to do with summoning and containing ghosts. I mean, she is a necromancer, so this is not out of character for her. Yes, the journal next to the bed. Blah, 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 blah. Also, on the way up, it looks like there is a shelf which has like lanterns of varying different types on it, and there's clearly a gap where one of them is missing.
Urk's not upstairs, but there is it looks like a journal.
Let's go read it.
Do you want me to... Can you bring it down, please?
Can my familiar try and pick up the journal?
I mean, how much weight can your familiar carry?
My familiar has a strength of 3.
Make a strength check for your familiar.
Please. That is a 5.
I'm less confident.
It tries to pick it up, but it's too...
Can it shove it? Can it shove it and make it fall off the mezzanine?
Sonder is sticky-fingered, right, and has a climb speed. So Mr. Sonder, Dr. Sonder will climb up the wall. And maybe just finish with his 25-foot high jump at the top.
As your familiar is desperately trying to push this journal to the edge, Dr. Sonder just leaps onto the mezzanine.
Oh, hello, Dr. Sonder.
I say from downstairs, seeing through my familiar's eyes.
We'll carry it down, and I will,
Scuffles away.
strength of 8, I will try and do a slightly better job.
I realise that my shadow spirit is still here and is much stronger. The wasp is just floating around.
So, Dr. Sonder, you can bring the journal back down.
I shall do that, and I will pass it over to Fifiel. It's words.
I always suspected you couldn't read.
Action.
It's just in like a language I understand.
Oh yes, it's written in common.
Grand. And so, is there? I guess I turn to like the most recent thing and see if there's any like any notes that.
Sure. Can you roll me an investigation check on it?
Can anyone assist?
Yeah, people can help.
I'll help. Well, if you know you
No, I don't want to
Brilliant
assist in character, but if someone could, that would make it look better.
Very cool. Do you want
Oh, I got a 26 on the investigation check.
So, in this notebook, there are a series of notes. They're in chronological order. So you start with the sort of the latest one because that's where you turn to, which have details on research on capturing spirits, communicating with spirits, and potentially, this is where you start with, using spirits to extend someone's lifespan.
How old is Urk?
Urk would probably be about 35. Our Cockra lifespan's probably, they live to about 50. Fifiel, you're familiar with Urk's handwriting, and because of the high investigation roll that was rolled, this is very similar to Urk's handwriting, but it's not hers.
Ooh. I've just spent the last minute going Aracock Lich, Lichacock. I can't quite. Aralich Grudge.
I turn to everyone and say, someone else has written in Urk's journal.
Wait, if we go to the front of the journal, are we sure it's actually her journal?
It says Urk's name.
Yes, can you not see the difference between the handwriting? And I point at two very similar looking pieces of handwriting.
I'm assuming it's called Urk's journal or something.
It's not.
I've got a name on it.
No.
Never mind, that's it.
No. So can we go to the earliest one and see if the handwriting matches Urk's handwriting or this handwriting at the end of the journal?
That's very smart. I will get out Arrow's record, and because obviously that has Urk's handwriting in it, and we use that as a comparison.
So Fifiel, the handwriting throughout this journal is consistent, but it's not consistent with the handwriting on the report.
Oh, I feel foolish.
No. It means the journal's not. I'm not doing this out of character.
Maybe the journal's not her journal.
She was using it as a research tool or for some other reason.
What kind of criminal mastermind could do such a thing?
A ghost.
Ghosts don't tend to keep journals.
But there are Aarakocra ghosts here, in a crypt.
Yes,
this is a family home.
Exactly. They may have lived here at some time and have kept a journal during their life, which Urk has now found and is attempting to exploit, or some other reason.
A ghost, it would need to be an Aarakocra who wrote this, presumably, because they have such handwriting similar to Urk's.
Yes.
Maybe an ancestor?
Yes.
What
about the book you found, the book on the wall?
Ah, that's true.
Do they correspond?
Can I compare the handwriting in the architecture book and in the journal?
They're not the same handwritings.
You said there was a chalkboard with drawings on about summoning ghosts, was that right?
Yes, so the chalkboard has rituals on summoning and containing ghosts.
There's some rituals on a chalkboard up there about summoning and containing ghosts. Maybe that's relevant?
It'd just be a coincidence.
Unlikely, but possible. We don't have enough information regardless. We should see what more we can learn. But there is some pattern emerging here. we just can't see the whole of it yet.
Can I look more closely at the drawings on the chalkboard? Specifically, if there's any writing in the drawings on the chalkboard, is it the same as her notes on the desk downstairs, or is it the same as the notes in the book in the journal? Through my familiar's eyes, because I can see as if the familiar is seeing.
Roll an investigation check. You're not a handwriting specialist.
No.
It's going to be difficult.
I totally respect that. Now, it's through my familiar's eyes, so I use my familiar's investigation, don't I? George, help me out on this. I use the familiar's investigation roll.
I think keep your mental stats. Yeah.
Because you didn't looking, yeah.
If I didn't looking, then I'll use my investigation, which is vastly superior. Oh, very good. That is a 26.
Because Fifil has been pointing out where the differences are, you can see that the chalkboard writing is Urk's.
Okay, so Urk was writing on the chalkboard, and that's for summoning and containing ghosts, so maybe she summoned a ghost of an ancestor.
Does the ritual say anything about vanishing? Is there a cost or a transference, a teleportation aspect?
Is there a material cost?
It's not that detailed.
It's not that detailed. More schematic.
If she was trying to summon the ancestor's ghost, it stands to reason that she'd need to go to the crypt. We could inspect the entrance at least and see if someone has gone down there recently.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Before we go, you mentioned a missing lantern and it seemed important.
Yes, and on that is where we'll take our break. So we'll have a short break and we'll come back here in about 5 or 10 minutes. So join us to find out what is happening in Stoneywing Hall.
My God.
I bet it's dragons.
everyone, welcome back from the break. We're here back with the second half of the mystery of Stoneywing Hall.
The fanfare.
This is what we're doing today. The characters are currently in Erk Stoneywing's office, the head teacher of the Academy of Stoneywing. That's not what it's called.
The Academy of Stoneywing.
They've discovered some suspicious things in Erk's office, including a journal with some writing that's not hers, a blackboard with some necromantic rituals on it, and
hers.
Seems fine.
some files about the suspicious ongoings of Dr. Sonder and Arel, which have nothing to do with this campaign, just, you know, they've been bad. Is there anything anyone would like to do in the office before? I believe you were thinking about the lanterns.
Yeah, you specifically mentioned that there was a row of lanterns and one was missing, which my familiar saw when it flew up to look in the sort of nook alcove nest thing. Can my familiar look at the lanterns? Because if there's notably one missing, is there like something about these lanterns?
So if your familiar is flying up to have a look, would you like to roll an investigation check for me?
And I get to roll mine, even though it's my familiar.
Yes, because you're the one doing the looking.
Thank you. It's an 18.
So as you're having a look at the lanterns, it looks like they're all kind of the way that they're arranged. Basically, they're arranged in a line, and it looks like they're like prototype versions of the same design. So like they go from like basic to slightly more detailed, and then the final one is missing. There's like the classic like ring where the dust has formed everywhere apart from.
Yeah. Can my familiar try and pick up? Oh no! Sorry, this is Chris. Hazu doesn't think like this.
There appear to be some strange lanterns up on the wall. Maybe we should take a look at those.
Dr. Sunder will begin reclimbing the bookcase.
As Dr. Sunder's doing that, can I turn to Hazu and say, what did you say the ritual was stipulating that would the container for the ghost be?
The what now?
The ritual on the wall stipulated that it was about containing ghosts. Did it say what the container was?
Hang on.
My family can fly up to the chalkboard again and.
It does mention a container. It doesn't specify what that container would be.
There's a container mentioned.
Is it for keeping ghosts in it, or is it for? It's a container for ghosts.
Yes. The journal also had stuff in it about containing ghosts.
There's a container mentioned at the end. I think that's where the ghost is contained inside.
Could it be a lantern?
I don't know. Logic dictates probably.
So there's a row of these lamp things, as Hazu suggests. Should I bring them all, or the most?
As many as you can carry, please.
Okay. How many are there?
There are 5 still there.
My familiar is still buzzing around if you wanted to give one to them.
I will give your familiar one of them. Absolutely. That's
Can
4.
they carry it?
If they can't.
Roll a strength check for the familiar.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Oh, that's mine. No, sorry. This familiar's is way worse. That is a 10.
10. It's managing.
Okay, we'll give it the first one.
It's basically doing the like levitate thing where it's starting to it's basically descending to the ground. It's not controlled. It's not flying. It can't hover. It's just like descending to the ground.
Desperately buzzing away.
Dr. Sonder, what's your strength score?
It's a handsome 8.
Stronger than me.
You can probably carry 3.
Then,
safely.
Having given the one furthest away from the dust ring to I don't know your insect's name.
It doesn't have a name.
Okay, from the familiar. Then I will take the ones nearest the ring. So there'll be one left, which would be the second one then. And I will hang these about my.
God, I've done it again. Can my shadow face spirit just fly up and help out? It's got a strength of 13.
Oh, right. Yes. Can we manage 2 each?
Yeah, you could hang a couple around the wasp's legs and wings and head.
Like a Christmas tree. It's very festive.
It glares at you angrily, but
it's a giant flying wasp, I think. half of the course.
It does everything angrily. So
we'll hang lanterns off bits of that and carry what's left, and again clamber our way back down to my colleagues.
Ta-da!
During this time, I've summoned the Wizardly Quill as a bonus action, and they're making notes.
cool.
Scribes.
Can I investigate then one of the most recent lantern and see if I can determine anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Will help.
Cool. So roll with advantage.
Is that an investigation?
It would be, yes.
Oh my god! That was a 5 and a 1.
Wow.
That's terrible. So my most there was a 9. Oh no, sorry, I'm lying. Where's investigation? Oh, +4. Was that 5? Yeah, 9. Sorry.
I mean, they're definitely lamps. They don't appear to have candles in them.
I think this is a dead end. I say, and I'll pass them on to my colleagues.
Can I investigate the most recent one to see whether the purpose of these is to give light or something else? Like, is this a lantern to help you see, or is this a lantern
Sure.
for a different purpose?
Roll investigation check
I will assist.
with advantage.
Oh, okay. Ha! I mean, both of them were 25s, so...
I mean, they don't have candles in, but it looks like they've never had candles in. Like, there's no wax marks or burn marks, and there's nowhere where you've put oil in for them to give off light. They do have some symbols around the outside which look like arcane symbols, and the from the prototype version through to the second most recent version, they look like these get slowly more detailed as they go.
Can I give one lantern to each of us and just see if anybody recognizes the arcane symbols? Because one of us is bound to, surely.
I'll assist someone else in an Arcana check.
I'll do an Arcana check.
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
If we all
everyone
take a lantern each and do an arcana check.
everyone do an Arcana check.
Oh, okay, fine.
5 wizards step into a room.
16?
19.
Oh my god. 11.
Oh, jeez.
9 again.
26. 26.
There's the real wizard.
Viviel, you spent a lot of time reading, researching. You look at your lantern and you happen to have the second most recent one.
Mm-hmm.
And you realise that these symbols do look like symbols that would either summon or contain a ghost. You're not quite sure on the specifics there because you're not a necromancer, but...
I'll turn to the group and say, well, obviously these are necromantic symbols used to, in some way, interact with ghostly beings.
Oh no.
That's what they are, yes. Right.
I feel like we should take them with us.
I
Okay.
don't see why not.
If we all just take one each, because obviously you said one was missing, right, Hazu?
Yeah.
Right. So that means we're hoping took one. Wherever she's gone, maybe the others would be helpful.
Possibly, although they seem in degrees more basic than the last, so perhaps these don't function in the same way. But I mean, we can take them. We can see if they help in some form.
How big are they? I.e., is Dr. Sonder just
They are like traditional lantern size. So to the smaller ones among you, some of these are the same size as your head.
I might just share.
I carry my spell book. It's a satchel that the book is just held in the satchel and it clasps. So I'll just hang the lantern off it. And it's slightly heavy, but also I have got ways to hang it on my person. I'll do that.
I have a belt. I'm going to hang it off.
Does it weigh more than 10 pounds? Which is like 4 and a bit. Is that 4 kilos? I don't know.
No.
No? Okay, I'll cast Mage Hand and get my Mage Hand to hold it then.
Yeah.
That's
Fucking
clever.
wizard.
I see the way he works. Impressed, but without wanting to realise that he hadn't thought of that himself, Dr. Sonder will do the same.
Grant. So, lanterns in tow, is there anything else anyone would like to do before you leave the office?
Have I looked at the books in this office before?
You would have been in here before, but only with Urk, so probably wouldn't have had a chance to investigate the books.
I'm not going to make a big song and dance about it, but can my familiar do a quick sweep of the bookshelves before we go looking specifically for tomes about the Feywild?
Sure, roll an investigation check.
15. Not very good.
There are a couple of books in here about the Feywild.
Okay.
Do you want to take one? Or?
No, I will... No, Hazu's not a thief. I will make note of that and just file that away for later. That sort of like, I'm aware of this now.
I mean, your praying mantis does also find a secret stash of seeds, so...
What kind of seeds? Oh, they're a
sunflower
person.
seeds.
Yeah. Sorry, that just. Oh, why would there be seeds?
Emma. Always seeds. What is it?
Some of us can't help who we are. This is...
Some are born seed, some are cheap seed. Didn't follow that through in my head.
Can I check the desk just in case she left a note?
Of course you can.
I love it.
Please tell me there's a gone fishing note. That's all we need.
Roll an investigation check.
Yeah. 26.
As you're searching through the desk, you don't find a note specifically from Urk. However, as you open one of the drawers, you do brush your hand over something, and as you touch it, a comb and a set of magical preening tools do come to life and start trying to preen you.
No, that's not.
They start trying to comb you and fluff your feathers that aren't there, and then they start trying to oil you down as well.
I mean, go with it. You don't know what might happen. It might.
They take the suit.
Might make you hot.
I'll get my... Water's already hot. I will get my familiar to sort of buzz around you, trying to sort of swap them out.
I will do my best to just fend off these things.
You can catch them and then corral them back into their drawer.
Just slam it shut. Just sort of dusting myself. The popping the sleeves and checking myself over. Try not to look too rumpled. Good. Yes. Shall we?
Okay. Into the crypt.
Where is the entrance to the crypt? Did it say something on the map?
It's through Fifil's classroom.
Oh, of course, yeah.
As you enter my classroom, please take off your shoes. Those of you wearing shoes.
Yeah.
I wearing shoes. Don't wear shoes.
Booms.
Arel just pretends that they've not heard this.
Only one of us wears shoes. Does that count as a short rest? It probably doesn't, does it?
No. Nice try, though.
Just asking.
So, in Fifil's classroom, what does your classroom look like, Fifil?
It's very old school. Everyone has their own individual desk that's spaced far enough apart that you can't really interact with the nearest person. You are quite isolated. There is a bookcase at the back which have books that are all seemingly identical and pristine, and you can't really work out. You wouldn't really know by looking at them how any of them are any different from any of the other books. And it's just very wood. There's a lot of hard wood paneling everywhere. But similarly to Dr. Sunder, because Fifil is little, there is a set of stairs in front of a very ominous lectern, and the stairs are kind of hidden. But it is there because he does have to stand.
What makes a lectern ominous?
It's just it's very wide. And there's a sort of I'm imagining a dragon head.
It's like a pulpit.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like a pulpit. Yeah, there is definitely that kind of vibe. There's a kind of dragon head carved into the front. And yeah, there you go.
Very tiny in here.
It's a very big pulpit you've got there, Fifil.
He doesn't say. He just ignores. and he's going to walk to the back. So what did the thing say? So is it behind the bookshelf?
Yep. That was what it says.
There's no stipulation, right? Okay, seeing where this is going, knowing the people in the room, he says, "Do not ruin my book."
Is there some kind of secret button or
Yes, it's called Shatter.
It seems a bit extravagant.
Has it been an hour? How long's it been since I summoned my shadow spirit?
I'd say that the bit in the office probably took a while. Probably took you maybe like half an hour. I don't know if it's taken a full hour.
Okay. Oh, so my shadow spirit, my wasp is still there, but I'll check in about the hour mark.
You could have a look at the bookcase, see if you could find a secret catch rather than shattering it.
I don't want. Okay, in character, I don't want to investigate Fifiel's bookshelf because I don't think I should.
Yeah, I feel like I'll have a look. Yeah, I mean, I know the book, so I feel like I know the bookshelf really well. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't really know what I'm looking for. But I guess I'll look for something that I haven't previously noticed.
Okay.
I'll definitely, I'll help as well because I understand this is your domain, but I'm also very eminently practical. So we'll, yeah.
Cool.
Would you rather roll your own investigation, or do you want to give me advantage?
Give you advantage.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so roll your investigation check with advantage.
Oh, it's not great. 19.
19. So, Fifiel, you've spent a long time with this bookcase, but you're also quite small. And as you're working through it with Walter, looking at all the bits you haven't looked at before, because let's be honest, you're mostly invested in the bookcase for the books.
Yeah, that's true.
And now you're looking at like the actual bookcase, and together you realise that on top of the bookcase there is a latch.
Just a latch. Nothing magical, just a latch.
Just
a latch. That's, yeah.
I said, well, thank you, Walter, for discovering that.
I mean, it's really just on the top, just there. Really, whenever I look. But, yes.
How much wizard shade can one party throw? Yeah,
I'll go and click the latch.
So
press the latch.
as you unlatch it, nothing happens. It's like a hook latch.
I would like to a firm shove.
I would like to give it a gentle shove.
It does start to move.
Okay.
I have telekinesis. No, the feat, not the spell. So I will use my invisible mage hand to give the thing a sub. If the shelf could make a DC 15 strength save.
I mean, it's a shelf. It can't.
Then I can shove it a thing. Actually, it says one creature. Maybe I can't shove it. Maybe that's not true at all.
I'm gonna say that you can use your telekinesis to shove the shelf.
Okay, I would like to try, certainly.
I'll make it. Yes, you can shove the the shelf. I made a save for the shelf. The shelf did not save against you. You can shove it.
Wow, that shelf's got some saves.
So with the force of my mind, I will try and.
So, Fifiel, you really feel like your gentle shove did the work here.
Yeah.
Oh, good one, Fifiel.
I turn around to the group and I look at Walter and I say, "Yes, thank you. Sometimes you don't need to be massive to, do such things. There's nothing wrong with being small."
Damn right.
Walter's not massive. Walter's just proportional size. Just most of us are quite small.
Realm might be the tallest.
Yeah, probably.
We are tiny.
Well, you're 2 foot tall. Fifiel's a kobold, so 3, and I'm 4 foot tall, so yeah.
Oh, we're like Russian dolls.
Arel's about 6 foot. They just tower over.
How tall's Walter?
Walter's about 6. Walter's about 6.
Okay, fine.
Not slender but tall.
So as the bookcase rotates open, it reveals a hole in the ground behind it. It's basically like a walled pit which descends into darkness.
Walled pit, like no staircase or just a hole?
In the theme of this one-shot, Red, no, there is no visible ladder.
Bird people. Makes a lot of sense.
Bird people, yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah, right, got you.
So it's quite big, Zesek.
Yes, obviously, like, they would need to be able to fly down it, so it is quite a large hole.
Can I send my familiar and shadow spirits down to do some scouting?
Yes.
You want to go and see what's going on down there?
The wasp is basically the equivalent of what would be grumbling in wasp at you.
I love the subtitle on that, Grumbles in Wasp.
They fly down. Are you looking through the praying mantis's eyes?
Yeah, once again, I've not thought to ask anyone to hold my hand or anything. I'm just looking through the praying mantis's eyes. Just to note, the praying mantis, I don't believe, has dark vision. It does not.
It is dark.
There's no light down there.
Would you like some?
When you say would I like some light that doesn't hurt anybody?
Yeah, yes.
Oh.
I'll cast, I'll grab it, or I'll find something that looks perishable, maybe, like not a book, perhaps a pen or something.
Pen's worse, surely.
Just ground there.
There's probably like a note or like a bit of something that's been left behind by a student.
I will like pick it up, sort of eyeing Fifio as something hopefully non-flammable. I'll cast continual flame on it as I have it, and throw that into the hole. That should add light, I think. Is that right?
How long is it? Does it not have a casting time of a minute or something?
No, it's an action.
Oh.
So as the flaming piece of paper flies down the hole, narrow and missing the praying mantis, the praying mantis can see the walled pit that is inside. It's probably about 40 foot deep.
Oh.
And it has an exit that goes off.
It appears to not be too deep a hole. Like, it would hurt if you fell down it, but I can get down. Can everyone else get down?
Anybody own a rope?
No.
Oh, well done.
Cool. Who is going to tie the rope?
Oh.
There's the rope.
I'm going to turn to my shadow spirit and go,
Could you hold this, please?
There's a shadow spirit who's currently at the bottom of the pit.
I can fly back up.
Okay. So the shadow spirit's going to hold the rope at the top of the pit.
Are you sure that's a good idea? It'd be better to sort of anchor it to something, because I assume we will have to climb back out again at some point. And
Is someone good with tying rope?
No.
not
Feasible.
especially.
Is there anything in this classroom that is, i.e., not a desk, like is a permanent fixture that could have something tied to it? Maybe the door handle?
Tie it to a door handle.
I'll go and tie it to a door handle then.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, I'm great at that.
I will help.
Okay.
With advantage.
That's good.
Walter is hovering behind you,
It's an 11.
pointing at how to tie knots. 11. Okay.
There we go. If anyone falls, I'm very sorry in advance.
Who's
I
climbing
will
down?
not be going down first.
I have complete faith in you, Hazu.
I will say, and then sucker myself to the wall and
Walk down.
roll down vertically. Yeah.
But I suppose I will be the first to sort of walk. I'm just carrying a book under my arm constantly. That's just that emotionally and physically. I'm sort of squishing it somewhere and trying to awkwardly climb down.
Could you roll me an
lovely
athletics check with advantage?
I
because
came
of the rope?
this close to not making strength when it comes to that, but hey.
We're all wizards.
They're actually good rolls. But it's a 50, advantage, 18 in fact.
18. Great. Yeah. You climbed out actually quite ably, despite the fact that you're holding a book under one arm.
Yeah.
I guess I'll follow.
Again, strength with advantage.
Well, that's all right. That is 15. So I have to minus.
Could you just roll me a d20 just to see how the rope's doing?
The 10.
Okay. Who's going next?
I'll go. With advantage?
Yes.
That's a 17.
A rail as well.
Racing
Quite deftly climbing down the rope.
Can I... At the bottom, is there enough space that people won't fall on you?
Yeah, it's quite a large.
Okay.
And Fifiel.
Yeah, I will approach the rope and attempt to climb down whilst holding a book and have a very heavy book on my back.
And mage hand carrot floating a lantern.
Still with advantage. Go for it.
Alright. Okay, that's a 9.
As you're climbing down, first off, you drop the book.
I think I let go of the rope.
Can my shadow spirit try and catch him?
I mean, your shadow spirit is medium.
Yeah.
And Fifiel is small.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, sure. Roll a...
Catch check.
There is no catch check. Technically, it's not allowed in the rules, but I'm going to let you have it. Roll a guess dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
7.
No. The shadow spirit, sort of flops one arm in your direction and fails.
How far are they falling?
I mean, you rolled quite low. I'm going to say about 30 feet.
I will flick out a hand again. It's the same cushioning feather fall effect to gracefully make you descend. I mean, technically just target creatures, but if I can do the same to the book, I definitely will for flame.
It catches. Roll an Arcana check. See if you can change the spell to catch a book.
Right, nice.
That's a 16.
Because it's only one creature, you also manage to morph the spell to catch the book. So Fifiel, as you're falling, the book is also there and you can grab it again if you want.
I said, thank you, Walter, thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I'm just testing everyone's abilities.
Your tests are important.
Reactive magic is my specialty, as you know. Yes.
Raoul rolls his eyes.
It's dark down here. Who has dark vision?
Have we got the continual flame piece of paper?
Yes, it will burn out though because it's burning, isn't it?
I think it's like a magic flame. I don't think it goes out. It's not using it as fuel.
I see.
Double check. It's looks like a regular flame, but creates no heat and doesn't use oxygen.
Great.
Just burns forever, like a torch. So yeah, there's that, but I don't have dark vision.
Okay. So, Hazu and Dr. Sunder, if you don't create light of some sort or keep the continual flame, you will.
Actually, I may have dark vision. Based on a goblin, I do have dark vision. Yeah.
Okay.
Just me.
You got your bit of paper.
I've got a bit of paper and I've got my frog on my head. If it comes to it.
Yeah, sure.
The whole way through, there's been a frog on your head.
It's important to have a frog on your head.
What's the vibe down here? Is it just like creepy?
Chill.
Yeah.
Beanbags, you know.
Now that you're out of the walled, and I'm calling it a pit because that's the description of the actual thing, but it's actually quite pleasant. I think more the interior of a well rather than
Is that pleasant? I wouldn't describe it as pleasant, but yeah, I'll take it.
The well's more pleasant than a pit.
No, I agree. On the pit well continuum, it's definitely on the upper end.
That continuum involves dampness. That's the only differential.
The walls have been stoned. It is clearly constructed. As you're moving into the next corridor, you can see that the roof has been entirely painted to look like the sky outside, and there are clouds and there are birds painted on it as well.
Oh.
I'm going to mutter something to myself about belt and braces and it paying to be prepared and cast downward this on myself. So I just get this sort of glossy, frosty sheen. It's from my tiefling.
Has it now been an hour?
Tiefling spell.
Sorry, George. Has it now been an hour?
I think your wasp is probably fizzling out of existence.
In which case, I will politely ask everyone to hold and take a minute to cast Flock of Familiars. So I now have 4 familiars. I still have my Praying Mantis, but the other familiars that I am summoning are based on bats. And they will be, what's a good nighttime insect? Moths. So there are 3 sort of diaphanous moths. Just again, they're summoned in the sort of pinky, purpley, bluey energy, sort of portal-ish things. And they sort of, all 3 of them appear and just start floating around the space gently. And I'm going to push them all to basically go ahead. They have blind sight for 60 feet because they're based on bats, so they'll be going ahead of all of us, about maybe 20 feet ahead of us, so they can see what's going on. I'll probably have one of them stay relatively further ahead, like sort of like a daisy chain. So if something's coming, we're well aware of it from a long, long way away.
Okay. This corridor is not particularly long.
Okay.
Is there anything anyone else wants to do to prepare if you're having a minute to just pause?
I think given that everyone else is doing this, I think that what you see is that the book on my back starts to like shake. And then from this like awakened spellbook on my back, you just see like a sort of ghostly projection of a spellbook that sort of like emanates out of it as I manifest mine from my awakened spellbook. And then like next to me, so on one hand I have like the floating mage hand lantern, and on the other hand I have this like floating book.
Nice.
Cool.
I have nothing.
Love it. You've got all these different class wizards and then 2 evokers just going,
let me burn it.
Aurel's just looking with intrigue at the paintings.
Cool. They're very pleasant. It's just very nice depictions of the sky and beautiful paintings of lots of different types of birds.
Old? As in an old painting?
It looks like it was done a relatively long time ago, yes.
Right.
So as you progress down this corridor in, familiars,
I apologize,
wizards...
there are 2, not 3. I just read Flock of Familiars more carefully. There are 2 moths.
Right. You emerge into the crypt, which is a relatively small room, probably about 30 foot square. It's beautifully decorated. The wall, ceiling, and floor have all been painted with this same mural of the sky, blue sky with clouds and birds flying through it. And you can see this very clearly because the room is lit from the centre by a lantern floating around Stoneywing. Urk is similar in coloration to Blue Jay. She's got this kind of pointed head that I described previously. She's got white rings round her eyes, and basically all the back of her head and her wings are kind of a royal blue, and then the tips of her wings and her tail have this like electric blue feathering. Uncharacteristically, she's not wearing glasses as she would normally be. You can see those, they're lying on the floor next to her. And she's surrounded by a pale green glowing light, similar to that being shed by the lantern. And she's floating in the middle of the room with this lantern currently circling her.
My 2 new familiars have blind sight. Is there anything invisible in this space?
So I think because it's based on echolocation and...
Yeah. That's totally fine. Yeah.
Well, if there are ghosts there, they're incorporeal.
Forgive me for trying to gamify. It's all fine. My moths try and look for things.
Stop trying to break the rules, Chris.
Breaking them, bending them.
So yes, how would you like to proceed?
Hello?
Urk's head turns very slowly. She's normally quite a quick person, but her head turns very slowly towards you.
Head teacher, we have some ghosts upstairs that are causing problems.
A voice comes out of Urk that is not Urk's voice. It's just a family reunion.
Oh, okay.
Wisdom of 9, I'm not getting any of that.
While this exchange is happening, can I be studying the light effect? I'm basically trying to figure out whether this is something I can start picking or attempt to pick at with abjuration magic, dispelling magic type effects or not. But just using whatever conversation is happening as a thing for that.
Sure. Roll an Arcana check.
Dun, 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 dun. It's a 25.
It doesn't look like it's a spell, so a dispel of magic probably wouldn't.
Okay, so not a magical effect in that sense. Okay.
Yeah. It does look like it's emanating from the lantern, though. So.
Okay. Could I? Do I think I could make some impact on that if I were to do something like that, even if it's not a complete shutdown?
Possibly.
Okay.
Can I tell how the lantern is lighted? Because I was under the impression that there weren't any like candles or wicks or anything in them.
It looks magical.
How would I light?
Can I give my book on my back a tap and use my awakened spellbook to cast detect magic as a ritual, as an action, and at the lantern, and just try and work out what this magic is?
Sure. So, your detect magic comes into effect. You can sense that it's necromantic magic, and you can also sense all of the spirits in this room.
Oh shit.
Perk, how often do you do these family reunions?
Well, Eric's not here right now, and this is the first one.
Cool. Who am I speaking to? Just out of interest.
That's Eric.
No, I'm Icky.
Icky, hi, nice to meet you. What relation are you to Urk?
Oh, the ghost. Just got it.
I'm her aunt, and I think we're going to need to roll initiative.
Oh. All right.
How dare you ask about familial connections?
I refuse to be defined. Oh dear.
Oh, that's nice. That was
13.
Man.
6. Oh no, it's a lot of rolls.
It's a lot of rolls.
All right, what's everyone got?
6.
I've got yours.
Thank you.
13.
9. Yeah.
22.
22. And Phil.
Flashy.
24.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's rude.
Yeah, roll it again.
Fifiel has been rolling real high for this entire game.
There you go.
Cool. Well, Fifiel, with a 24, you go first.
Yeah.
The atmosphere in this room is turning, and you know, because you can detect magic, there are a lot of things in here that are not currently visible. Potentially they're in the walls, potentially in the floor.
And they're resistant to basically everything.
Yeah, I have basically nothing in the first place anyway. I mean, I guess I will. I literally have nothing. I have a dagger. What am I going to do? I'm going to throw a dagger in the air. I'm going to get my lantern that my mage hand has, and I'm going to hold it up, and I'm going to roll an Arcana check to see if I can work out how to make the lantern do something useful for me right now.
Sure, roll an Arcana check. That will be your action, so if you figure something out, you'll have to do it next turn.
Don't worry, I don't think I will. That is an 11.
You hold up the lantern at Icky/Erk, who just looks at you and goes, "What, are you going to hit me with a lantern now?"
No. That's the end of my turn. I ain't got nothing else to do.
Walter.
So I'm not sure whether I can make any difference by attacking the magic of the active lantern. Is that right? Is that correct?
Yeah, you feel like you probably won't be able to completely shut it off.
Sure, but could I attempt to do? I don't know what I'm trying to do here. I guess trying to weaken it or block it in some way. Failing that, even though Urk is presumably possessed, do I think that she would still be susceptible to a whole person spell?
Yes, so with possession, once the ghost is inside the person, they are affected by the... They are affected by what happens to the person. Obviously, the ghost could choose to remove themselves from the person, but then they wouldn't be possessing the person anymore.
But it hasn't changed her creature type away from you. So I'll do that. If you could please make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
The mechanics of possession.
We've got a lot of exclamations in this episode that could be book titles. Like Mechanics of Possession is one. The something undertakings of Errol and Dr. Sonder was another, which sounded like a brilliant book.
I have rolled a natural 1.
Oh, yay! Held. So I guess it's probably like much of Walter's magic is this kind of bluey tone to it. And it's probably literal sort of shackle type things, or sort of bars and bonds that appear in this very different way to other characters in Flesh. Literally restraining them in place that way.
Cool.
I'll put myself a little further back and slightly to the side of the group in case people start blasting, but yeah.
How well you know us.
Hey, look, someone's going to try and stop the ship and blast them. It's just what happens in these scenarios.
The ghost's face will appear from slightly outside of
Hate that.
Urk's. It is another Aarakocra face. You can see the beak. But it is screaming. Could everyone please make me a wisdom saving throw?
No.
Bad at
I
these.
don't think so.
Sorry,
actually,
each
mine's not
non-undead
that.
creature, all of the familiars as well.
Oh my god. Okay.
Frog on my head.
Oh, I've rolled a non-natural 20. Nice.
That's fine.
Rolled a 21.
Oh, 15.
You're fine. 15, you're fine.
Hang on. Some of my familiars have different stats.
You're fine.
Plus 1,
16.
and that is also a plus 1. That's easy.
Hey.
5, 4, and a 17. I'll say the 17 is my mantis because it's my familiar's closest one to me.
Well, the 5 and the 4 are both frightened.
The moths just just going bashing off the ceiling, desperately trying to get out.
They also age. 10 years.
Well, the moths are both dead. Moths do not live that long, so just crumple up and die, and we'll get absorbed back into the Feywild. Just
How long do frogs live?
Grung, how do Grung live? That's a fascinating question.
No. Dr. Sonder passed.
I have no idea. Frog age. I'm googling frog age.
Probably not 10 years. Why did you?
3 to 5 years.
He watches the frog version of himself wither and die.
Oh God!
Sorry.
That is officially
This guy's
terrible.
just cast 2020 the spell. You're aged 10 years, yeah, that's accurate. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
God, apologies to all of you with familiars for that.
My mantis is fun.
Right, and then not that. Arel.
Arel is genuinely quite pissed at the frog being killed. Can I wasn't quite done talking to the ghost.
You can still talk to her. She's still
We're
there.
not finished.
I mean, she's currently paralyzed, so it might be a bit mumbled, but she's still there.
Okay. Thing is, Urk's quite important. When can we have her back?
Well, I was planning on staying in here for a while.
Is the mouth not moving? Like, is it just a ghost talking inside someone?
Yeah, the
Weird.
beak's paralyzed.
I'm assuming that attacking Urk's body is a very bad idea because we will never get her back.
Well, technically, given that none of you are clerics, the only way to get rid of a ghost is to knock the person unconscious.
Okay. Oh, I really don't want to do
The
this.
ghost can't currently do anything with the body because the body's paralyzed.
Is being on fire a kind of unconscious?
We've got potions of healing.
I mean, as long as you heal the person once you try to kill them.
I don't. Goodness me. Okay, I think I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray. If I can. And that's 3 rays of fire, and I'm gonna hurl. Can I hurl them one by one and aim to make unconscious rather than kill?
Yes, you can. She's currently paralyzed, so attack rolls are with advantage.
Oh, fuck. Shit. Okay.
Fuck you!
So that's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so the first one does 9 points of damage. The second, I'm assuming not unconscious. The second one does 3 points of damage.
Still up.
And the third one does 8 points of damage.
Wait a minute, you have to roll attack rolls for all of them.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
It just said...
Yeah,
make a ranged spell attack for each ray. Yes, understood. Well, that's a nat 20.
So the 3 gets doubled to a 6, yes.
Oh my god. Urk, we hardly knew ye.
And and that's a 20 maths 3, 23.
Yes. So another 8 points. Right. Yeah. So Urk is now smouldering whilst paralysed.
So proud, Errol.
Smouldering whilst paralysed.
Not that. Dr. Sonder, it is your turn.
Oh no, I was hoping that the person would be free by now, so there would be a clear sense of what to do.
Yeah.
But there isn't, which means that Dr. Sonder will have to make difficult decisions. Dr. Sonder is going to use their movement to do a standing leap onto the wall behind us, as far out of the way as possible, and then is going to fireball the room, electing Hazu, Aral, and Fifiel as 3 people who will not be damaged by the spell.
My familiar is fucked.
Your familiar probably is fucked. And I think I have to leave the headmaster in there, the headmistress.
And Walter's in there too, apparently.
No, Walter's against the wall.
The room's only 30 feet. Oh, no, I guess if you're putting it.
It's a 20-foot circle, a cute circle sphere.
It's 40 foot. It's a 20-foot radius.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius. It's 40-foot radius.
Yeah, I guess it depends if you can stand to fill the room or whether you can selectively target half the room.
DM's call.
I believe fireball goes round corners.
It does.
I guess it would there's nowhere else for it to go.
Okay, that's a little bit large. Okay.
Note how the DM has put us in a room that is slightly too small for a fireball.
Sorry, that wasn't intentional.
Don't believe.
Oh, that's difficult. I'm still tempted. It's still very good.
Okay, you can exclude the 4 of us. You just can't exclude the familiar.
That's true, but then also the headmistress. I was thinking I don't want to kill her, right?
Right, understood.
Well, you just knock her out.
It's going to be hilarious if all the ghosts are still hiding in the walls.
Yeah. I really hope that they are that.
You could hold a fireball and see what emerges.
That requires an amount of lack of impulsivity that I'm not sure or Dr. Sonder possess. I'll tell you what I do. Instead, I'll cast a Thunder Wave at the level, aiming it squarely at the headmistress and the situation. That's probably a little bit more manageable. It's a 15-foot cube. I think we can probably focus that without harm.
Yeah.
So if you could please have them, or whoever is possessing them at the moment, make a Constitution save. Which is probably good.
She's a wizard. It's her best stat.
Should have let me burn the place down. That's...
I mean, I rolled a 19, so it's a 20. But
could you roll it again and fail?
Hang on. It's a dex saving throw. She's paralyzed.
No, it's a Constitution.
Con. A fire. She would have. Oh.
Sorry.
So launches a thunder wave. What does it miss? Unless there's anyone else in the field.
Wouldn't it be half damage?
It's half, definitely.
Should be. Yeah.
It's half.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's true. Thanks. That cheers me up no end. That's 13 plus 7, so it would have been 20, so 10.
10. Grand.
But you're not pushed anywhere.
You realise as you're watching this that it looks like it is Urk who is singed and who is hurt. On their turn,
Oh my god.
5 spectres emerge from the wall.
Poltergeist. Are they invisible, or are they invisible in the same way the poltergeists were?
They are visible.
Phew.
Aarakocra spectres.
They are all there.
Spectres. Spectre cockras. No, Araspectres.
Spectre cockras. That's
Spectre cockras.
They are going to. There are 5 of them. There are 5 of you.
God damn.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Crunch.
5.
Christ.
Nothing I can do here.
Nothing I can do.
Right, Arel, that is a 15 to hit you.
Shield?
Yeah, you can shield that.
Yeah.
So your shield goes up and it does not come through.
Damn.
Hazu, I'm afraid that is a natural 20 to hit you.
Yep. There's nothing I can do about that.
Sorry. Walter, that is a 14.
Yep.
That's a 9 to hit for Fiel.
Oh.
And a 19 to hit Dr. Sunder.
I can't shield my way out of that, I'm afraid. That will be a hit.
Okay,
Shit
so...
balls.
How badly injured are you, Haas? Are you full health?
I'm at full health. Full health is not a lot.
Can I just check if I need to know, can I check if I need to decide to do something before I know the damage?
Is this the projected?
No, it takes damage. Okay, yeah. So I can know the damage amount first.
No. So that's 18 points of damage on you, Hazu.
George, I am fine. It's up to you.
If you find for now, I'll hold
It's half damage. It's half my hit points.
Can you make me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
That's fine.
That's a 13.
You are fine. And
I'm not.
Dr. Sunder. Oh, yes. I rolled high. That is 15 points. Sorry.
It's okay.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, yes.
Oh, God. What happens if we fail the con save?
You don't want to
Let's
know.
find out. A natural 1.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Your hit point max is reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken.
Oh, that is bad news.
That is not good, given that we don't have much to do.
Wizards!
That's ridiculous.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I hate to say it, but George was hit as well.
No, it was a 14 on my 16.
It was 14.
You're a 16.
14 to my 16 AC? Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Dex and
You've
mage armor.
mage armor, which none of the rest of us took.
Yes. So those spirits are now in the room. Hazu.
Are they in melee range of all of us?
Yeah, they're floating around.
Okay. Okay. My familiar will fly down towards me and get within range of me, and I will touch it and cast Dragon's Breath on it.
Yes.
And then I will use my action to do benign... What's it called? Benign transposition, I think it's called, or something weird like that. Yep. Benign transposition. I can teleport to 30 feet into an occupied space that I can see, or I can choose swap places. I don't want to swap places with someone, that's unfair. But I will just... it's the same sort of bluey, pinky, aury thing that just... But in the meantime, when I reach out to the familiar, it's more of a... sorry about this, and touch it, and it just sort of fey bluey pink, it just it gets filled with it, and just gets even more awful and terrible as I teleport the fuck out. Can I be sort of 10 feet back from the door, so if anyone does fire ball, I won't get hit by it?
Sure.
Then I'll do that. Fireball away, my friends, and
Does the Dragon's Breath happen this turn?
I believe it does, because the familiar goes after me. It does. I'm going to imbue... The damage I'm imbuing it with is Ghosts, acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. Poison is done. Acid, cold, fire, they are definitely resistant to. Lightning, we've not checked yet. Is that correct?
Lightning did come on once.
I don't think we have.
Oh, I did. I shocking. You're right. So,
but they're not poltergeists, so we don't know if it's going to be the same.
I will use lightning because it is thematic, and it's a 15-foot cone. How many of the spectres, not hitting my allies, can I get with this? With a 15-foot cone, it's going to sort of.
Say because it can fly and go up. I'm going to say it can get 3.
Yeah.
In like a downward.
Can 3 of them please make a dexterity saving throw?
That is a 7, an 8, and an 18.
The 18 passes. So the 7 and the 8 both take 9 points of lightning damage, half to 4. And the other one half to 2. But my feeling is it's got flybys. So my feeling is going to fly to the point furthest away from everything else and just be at the top of the room, just shooting out lightning breaths until someone stops it.
Adorable.
So the praying mantis is going, just flying around, shooting it all out. Yeah.
Fifil, we're back round to you. There are more things in this room now.
In terms of knowing my friends, specifically thinking about my evocation friends, do you guys, or do you ever roll attacks, or is everything like saves?
I could roll an attack.
They've rolled attacks already.
They have already.
Scorching Rays attacks.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the best I got. I would like to ideally get to a position where as many enemy things are within 10 feet of me. And then I would like to prostrate myself in front of everyone just start crying.
It's called, what's it called? Grovel Cower?
Grovel Cower and Beg, yeah.
So everyone has advantage on attack rolls.
Yeah, everyone has advantage.
I'm going to say against everything because I love it. I love it so much. Kobolds are the best. Love it. All right. So next up is Walter.
I'm going to probably stroll. Yeah, I'm going to stroll across the room to Urk as I pass through. Oh yeah, I will provide an attack. I'm happy. I'm not happy to do that, but I'm going to do it.
You're taking an attack of opportunity.
I will have it taken. Yes.
I've rolled a natural 20.
I mean, it happens. I can't shield a natural 20.
That is 9 points of damage. Oh no, sorry.
It's twice that.
18 points of damage.
So annoying.
Could you make a con saving throw?
Yes, technically only 1 point of that damage hit me because 17 was on my ward.
Wow.
But one got through, which means we'll have to.
You've got Agathis up.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get. I need to make a. Does the temporary hit points from Armor of Agathis still count as me getting hit? Don't they?
What?
For the purposes of, I guess it does, but I can't. My hit point max. Oh, I guess my hit point maximum can be lowered by that amount, even if I don't take it. Even if I take it, yeah, I fail the Constitution save. I've taken 17 points out of my ward, which is gone. I take 1 point from 1 point comes off my temporary hit points, which is Armor of Agathis. Which means the Spectre takes 10 points of cold damage.
Okay, half to 5, but still
half
great.
To 5, yeah.
Wow.
Does that still lower? I'm assuming it does lower my max. I'll just lower my max by 1.
Lower my max by 1.
I assume it does. And then I'm going to continue strolling, just mostly nonchalant, considering that was only like a little dock through that. Walk past Fiffle, just chin up. We'll get through this. Walk over to Turk. I'm awfully sorry about this, but I've got to try and sort this out. And I'm going to Ray of Frost her.
Urk.
Yes, I think I need to make a concentration check for the whole person first, right?
Yeah, the DC.
The temporary hit points still count. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You need to roll a 10.
Hang on. Do temporary hit points still count? No. Hang on.
Do temporary hit points count for the purpose of taking damage from concentration checks? I have no idea.
Yes, you took damage.
Right.
So.
Yeah. That's fine. Good. I was worried there for a second. I'm going to cast Ray of Frost, which I'm doing from within 5 feet, so I'll get advantage from the power paralysis.
You're at it from the grovel enemy.
Yeah.
Not great. 16.
16 will hit, yes.
Okay, and it's an auto crit because I'm within 5 feet and she's paralyzed. And I can't not wait. No, this is a terrible idea. Sorry, my whole plan was to try and knock her out, but I can't knock someone out with a spell attack, can I?
No, you would knock her to death saves.
I will just have to rely on healing her afterwards. My plan was brilliant, except for the one cause. That's actually quite a good damage roll as well. 23 cold damage.
Wow.
No, it's slightly less than that. It's 20 cold damage. 20 cold damage.
Okay.
That's big.
She's still conscious.
Oh, phew. Good. Yes. I think Walter realizes the mistake in his plan as he gets there as well. No, wait, Dad! Cold. And I guess I'll stay there unless I have ample movement left. I'll back up a little if I've got a little bit left, yes. I'm not standing in melee range.
Is the save for hold person at the end of their turn?
Yes.
Cool. Rolled a 17.
Oh, that passes. They are not held anymore.
And you're within 5 feet.
Cool.
I step back, but yeah, I'm within stepping distance. Within stepping distance.
Just kind of hisses at you in a sort of birdly way. Birdly hiss? Arel.
Okay.
Urk is looking worse for wear. There are still all these spirits around you, though, and the lantern is still glowing.
Okay, first of all, how close together are the spirits and the lantern?
The spirits are spread out around the room because they were all attacking you, so not super close to it. Urk is the closest person to the lantern. Well, and
Right.
now Walter is pretty close because Walter's near to Urk.
Okay. And if I were to cast Melf's Minute Meteors, could I... right. It says when you cast the spell... Oh, when you cast the spell... I've answered my own question. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to cast Melf's Minute Meteors.
Right.
So I take off one of the rings I have and I kind of hold it out like this, and then it kind of levitates above my head, and as I'm muttering something in whatever. Then these 6 meteors appear above my head and rotate around me. And I'm going to send 2 of them to I guess the 2 furthest away spirits to explode on them. If any of them are within 5 feet of each other, then they can be hit with the same one, but that's fine. If not.
You could probably get 2 of the ones that they're familiar with breath weaponing in one.
Cool, so I'll get those 2 and then 1 other.
Do you want to go for the one that was attacking Dr. Thunder?
Yes. Yes, I do. So could they make Dex saving throws, please?
Sure. Okay, I have rolled a 12, an 8, and an 18.
The 18 passes, the other 2 fail. So...
So half damage on a pass.
Yes. So it's 9 damage, and then 4 for the one that passed.
And what kind of damage is it?
It's... oh yeah. Bloody hell. Fire damage.
Fire. Okay.
So 2 damage.
4 and 2. They will probably whittling away. Do the goddamn fireball you all want to do.
Cool. And next up is Dr. Sunder.
Aha. Could I just do a quick check geographically? I'm just trying to work out where everyone is. In my head, I've got in the middle of the room, we have the headmistress who's currently floating and possessed. And around her are Walter and Pithiel, one of whom is crying. Arol and I stood here of the room, and then outside behind us is Hazu, who's come through. His familiar is in the room.
You can take out my familiar. If this is going to fireball the room, do it. I'm fine with that.
I don't know that that's a wise decision at the moment. So what I'm trying to get is, where are the spectres? They're just around.
Yeah, there's one attacked each of you, so they're spread like in combat.
Like molecules in a liquid. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll literally hit the whole room if you fireball, and I'm far enough back that it won't hit me. So you can, because you're an evoker, you can protect everyone apart from the headmistress.
But I'm worried we might kill the headmistress.
We will.
You can protect.
No. If you do her full damage, she goes to 0 hit points. Like she doesn't sort of you don't sort of blow her up and she's gone. She just goes to 0 hit points, and
we
one of us can take an action to heal.
Away, wouldn't we?
Yeah. I'm standing near enough that I could, if I survive, heal as well with the healing potion.
Okay, so if I try to fireball the room, I need to protect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the screen.
You can't protect. You don't need to protect me. I'm not there.
You're not there. That's 1 down. So that's the 4 of us.
Worst case, if you've got too much to deal with, I'm resistant to fire damage, and you'd know this because I'm a tiefling.
That is useful.
How many can you protect, Red?
4 total. I'm not doing the headmistress, right?
Yeah, in which case, do the 4 of you. My familiar doesn't matter. I can always summon. It's the same thing. It goes back to the Feywild. It's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, fine.
You sure?
Yes.
It's quite useful.
It's also a nasty piece of work.
Okay. I mean, I came here to fireball the room, so I'm going to fireball the room.
Just for now, I'm not
I will cast fireball in the room.
Grand. So
I've just moved. I'm 10 feet down the corridor. Just boom.
So we require 6 dex saving throws.
Oh.
Right. Oh, and if you pass them, it'll be like quarter damage.
Yeah.
So
that's brutal.
Urk rolls a 20 non-natural.
Oh, come on. But Urk still takes half damage because Urk is not a ghost.
The spectres varied among them roll a natural 1, a 13,
Fail.
a 15.
That would hit the DC, so that would be a pass.
The other 2 are higher. So 3 passes and 2 failures among the spectres.
Okay, and then 1 headmistress who automatically passed. Okay.
Oh, hang on. It's a dex save, and she's still paralyzed.
No,
she's not paralyzed. She saved out of it last time.
Never mind.
Oh, it's noisy.
I failed. Oh, you protect me? Good, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm protecting you.
Good.
It's familiar.
Roll badly.
Just incinerated in a second.
So that was 23.
23, so...
I'm lost on how much you need to halve and quarter that by.
Okay, hang on. So
whittle it down.
half of 23 is 11.
11.
Urk is looking very badly singed.
Yeah, but Dr. Sonder looks very happy.
One of the spectres vanishes.
Hey!
One of the spectres looks terrible.
Oh.
So worth it. That was so worth it.
Definitely.
It was worth it.
Just a
Definitely worth it.
room of fire.
5. And the rest of you, it is an experience being inside a fireball that doesn't hurt you. Like watching a wall of fire erupt around you and yet not singe you in the slightest.
I'm on the edge of it.
Oh no.
So rather impressive work.
The spectres. There are 4 remaining.
There we go.
Yeah.
One is going to try and attack Dr. Sonder because, the
I think
fire.
that's fair.
It's fair.
I've rolled a 14.
I will shield that in that case.
That is fair. I think another one's going to go for you because that's
Shield counts for the whole round, right?
What do you got to do?
I've rolled another natural 20.
That would hit, wouldn't it?
My dice.
Having a good day.
Okay. Dr. Sonder has lived a good life.
Don't
say that.
That is 15 points.
He's raised a family of tadpoles. So 15, did you say?
Yeah. Can you make me a con saving throw?
Oh god.
Absolutely can.
You have a max HP of 1.
That's a 19.
You're fine. Doesn't drain your life. One is going to go for Arel. Mm-hmm. That rolls a 10. And another one is going to go for Fifiel, who's lying on the floor because just kind of...
Is Fifiel technically prone?
I mean, I think I'm prostrated, so yeah, go on.
I've rolled a 12, so you're probably fine.
Yeah. I'm Dexy, 14.
Yeah. Cool. So that is that. Dr. Sonder lives to see another day. Yay!
Lives to see another
How many hit points do you have?
8.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Hazu. Things are looking dicey. Dr. Sonder looks bad.
Clinging to the wall.
Okay. I will again draw a portal, and in the middle of the room next to Urk, I will summon. This time, last time was a Fey spirit. This is a Shadow spirit.
No, last time was a Shadow spirit.
It was a Fey spirit. I misread it. So an insect, a beetle, one of those rhino beetles with the gigantic horns, just manifests out, and it looks horrifying. It's got big spiky carapace and just has this guttural roar, which it's going to bellow as it arrives.
Nice.
Everyone needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Including us, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright.
Oh, it's a dirty 20.
Mm-hmm. You're fine.
I have failed.
Ghost rolls a 9.
In life.
Okay. George, the ghost.
12.
Yeah, you failed 2.
Spirits roll. One rolls an actual 1, and then I've got 2 16s and a 14.
The 16's past, the 14 doesn't. Sorry, this is going to be a real mess now. Those that failed are all frightened of the spirit. So while you can see it, you have disadvantage on
Attack rolls.
Attack rolls and ability checks.
And you can't willingly move closer to it.
And you can't willingly move closer to it, exactly. The ghost is also frightened of it. Yes, that is what it is going to do. It's just going to stand there in front of the ghost, very much demanding the ghost's attention, is the idea. Sack a hit points.
Love it. 5 wizards, baby.
Right, and we're back up to Fifiel.
Fifiel is going to get up and dust down his shirt and jerk in that and cough a bit, and then he's going to pull out his dagger, walk up to and try and knock her out with the dagger.
Please do roll me your attack roll.
You're not scared, are you? Good.
But I rolled a natural 1.
You're used to using this dagger, I imagine, to sharpen quills.
Yeah.
And I imagine some hesitation to use this against a living creature. Which is why you're you tap it against her head quite gently. And Icky turns to you, is what are you doing?
I'm checking the resonance of the skull.
Walter.
But based on possession, do I think, because presumably Urk is quite a powerful spellcaster, would a possessing spirit be likely to be able to use magical abilities?
Oh yes, she just haven't been able to yet.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to cast slow on every hostile thing in the room, because it's up to 6 creatures of my choice in the room.
Nice.
That is a wisdom saving throw from each of them.
That's great.
Right, the ghost rolls a natural 20.
Oh my god!
That's most of the reason for doing spells.
Sorry. The spectres, I've got 1 17, and then the rest I've got under 10.
The 17s will pass. When you see 16, so yeah, that's the threshold. Yeah.
So 3 of them are slowed. One is not, and the ghost inside Urk is not slowed either.
In my head, I've just got a ghost going. Boo.
Curses.
And it is the ghost's turn.
Oh, shitballs.
I have an entire spell list.
Oh, shitballs.
And I think I shall use Blight.
Oh!
Cast spell.
Yay!
I was going to do it regardless, I think, but
It is 4th. Yeah, can you
so
roll?
I have to roll for it.
Yeah. She begins
intelligence plus 5
to cast, and it does not look like Urk casting. It looks more like how you imagine a sorcerer would cast.
Interesting. For the first time, I drop my book and make a sort of clutching gesture in the air, like I've just caught something out of the air, and then I make my roll. Ooh. Oh no, that's a 12. Not enough.
No, you would need to roll.
I need a 14 for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
In which case,
Randy for counterspell as well.
I used shield as my reaction.
In which case, the blight takes effect on Hazu. Sorry.
I'm a long way away. It's a 30-foot cubed room. Oh, I suppose.
I rolled for it.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Could you make a Constitution saving throw?
No. Right. That is a 4.
Oh, sorry.
I hate the sound of all this dice.
Using blight on his insect creature just seems mean. It's like pouring salt on you.
I doubt it'll be enough to kill me outright, but you know.
You had to say it.
There's a lot of dice being counted over here.
40.
20 knocks me unconscious.
Oh. Okay.
My max hit points is 38. Is it taking me? It's taking me to 30 over.
It would have to be your entire hit points again.
Oh, good. In which case, I just collapse into a little heap, and my shadow massive beetle just fades out again as I lose concentration.
Shit.
Urk is a very powerful spellcaster. Arel, it is your turn next.
Okay. I have an action economy question. So, no, I don't.
So no, I don't.
Interesting. Well put. That was
No.
informative.
My meteors are a bonus action, and fireball is an action. Yes.
Yes, you've already cast the meteor spell, so you're not casting another spell. So you could use the meteors as a bonus action.
Great. I would like to finish what Dr. Sonder started and cast another fireball.
Awesome.
And protect the 4 of us.
What do you need?
No, it's fine. That dice is gone. That dice is never coming back. It wouldn't be a roll together show if I didn't throw dice on the floor.
That's true.
Right. Urk has rolled a 6. The spectres, I've got 3 under 12 and 1 with a 21.
Okay, so one of them succeeds. And it's, what is this? 8d6?
8d6.
Baby.
Oh, Jesus. I don't even have that many d6.
2 hit points left.
All that.
Evocation doesn't count.
You might destroy all the spectres there.
No. You might kill off the spectres.
14, 16, 17, 22, 23. That's 27 points of damage.
Right, Urk falls to the floor unconscious, and the spirit, as she falls to the floor unconscious, the spirit stays standing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right, hang on. Yes. 27, which halves to 13. Right. 1 spirit vanishes. 2 spirits vanish.
Hey.
Yeah.
One spirit looks terrible. And then there is one who is still there.
Okay.
So two remain, one of which looks really awful.
Okay, so I would like to, and also the ghost is there, yes?
Yes, the ghost is still there.
I'm gonna
Leave
fling.
Ghost Lantern. I'm unconscious.
Fling one of my. Oh, and the lantern has any of the behaviour of the lantern changed in all of this? Is it still just kind of floating?
It's now floating around the ghost.
I would like to send one of the meteors at the ghost and the other at the lantern.
Okay, interesting. It's dex save, isn't it?
Although if they're within 5 feet of each other, both of them can hit both.
You do one at a time.
Sure. Are they dex saving throws?
They are dex saving throws. So let's do one and see what happens, and then the other one.
The ghost rolls a. I think it's a 5. No, it's 4. The lantern can't roll dex saving throws. It's a lantern.
So that's 5 points of damage. I imagine that gets halved for the ghost.
It does.
And then I'm gonna fling the other one straight away if the lantern's fine.
It looks slightly smoky, but it's not destroyed.
Yeah, I'll fling the other one.
Cool.
Let's do it.
The second one for the ghost is a natural 1.
That's 10 points of fire damage.
Oh, much better. The lantern starts to, you see some of the glass starting to crack.
That's all I can do now. That's everything.
Rolls a death saving throw. Passes.
Good to know.
Dr. Sonder.
Student after my own heart, Arrow. I don't know. Nicely done.
He's very impressed by the wanton destruction of his colleague. I am going to. How close is the unconscious headmistress to the ghost with the swirling lantern? Like,
literally at its feet.
Okay. Then I will. Would it be possible, considering a shot of gust of wind, to try and clear the area and make a passage for the headmistress to be rescued? Is it possible to get the 2 spectres and the ghost in that kind of a 10-foot wide beam?
Yeah.
Then I will position myself as far as the edge of the room, and I will do that. So, 60 foot long or 10 feet wide blast of air comes out from where Sonder is standing, and at the start of each of their turns, they must make a strength save or be pushed 15 feet away from the situation.
Okay, cool. So on the Spectre's turns, they need to make a strength saving throw. What's the DC?
It is, sorry, that's mine, isn't it? 15.
15. Well, I've rolled a 2, which becomes a 0, and a 16, which becomes a 14. And as they are pushed into the lantern, and as they touch it, they disappear.
Oh, that's useful.
Which brings us to Hazu. Could you make a death saving throw for me, please?
Did we skip Pav's turn?
No, Pav goes first.
That is a 10 on the dice.
So let's pass.
Just a pass.
Fifiel.
Light doesn't do anything weird on death saves, does it?
No.
So when they touched the lantern, they disappeared.
Yep.
But the lantern's moving.
Round the ghost. Yeah.
Round the ghost. I don't feel confident in it. It would be way too impulsive. I'll leave it to the evocation. Impulsive.
Join in. Come on.
There's a newfound respect for the value of evocation magic, but I'm not engaging in possibility. I think that Fafil will go to and dump his health potion into Urk's mouth.
Cool. Yeah. Can you roll your healing for me?
What is it? It's a 2. Is it 2d4? 2d4 plus 2. Okay. And then there's a. What does d4 like that? It is 6.
Cool. So you bring her back to consciousness, and she sort of starts coughing in your sort of looking up at you like, oh, Fifiel. Gosh, why are we in the crypt? And
you tell me, I don't know, we followed you.
We'll come back to that. Walter.
Can I step forward and try and grab the lantern and make it intersect with Ghost?
Sure.
Do the lantern ghost grab.
I need to roll, but I'm just going to, seeing this opportunity, step forward and try it.
It's not moving very fast, so it's not hard to grab out of the air. And could you just roll me like let's make it a spell attack roll to push it into the ghost.
+6, 14.
Yes, it has very low AC because this is a ghost. As you push it sort of through this ghost, it seems to be kind of being drawn into the lantern, and you could kind of slam the lantern shut, and it is gone.
How do you like that? Yes, good. Terrific.
That was genius, Walter, genius.
Is that it? Is it over?
There's some spectres still in the room, isn't
I'll
there?
pass a second death save.
Hazu is dying in the corridor.
I will run and give Hazu my potion of healing.
Yay!
Please take 2d4. That's 2.
Yeah, I have hit points.
What happened?
It all got a little bit out of hand, Hazu.
This is why I tend to stay in libraries.
It's all right now. Can you get up? Are you okay?
Rock back up.
I'm okay. All my friends are gone.
You can bring back the more.
Well, gosh, it's a surprise to be down here. I wasn't. How did you all? Well, never mind. We'll cover that later. Anyway, should we go have some breakfast? I'm rather peckish.
I mean, are you okay?
She looks at her rather singed feathers and her glasses, which are like cracked on the floor.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, we can always replace things and...
I'm going to pick up her glasses and cast mending on them and hand them back.
Excellent, thank you. And, well, the feathers will grow back over time. What did you do with the students? And that is where we will end this one shot.
14 possessed students.
So thank you so much everyone for joining us to discover what was happening at Stoneywing Hall this evening. If you enjoyed tonight, we play every Monday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. GMT, and that's 10 a.m. PT to some other time PT.
10 a.m. to 1 a.m. PT on Mondays and 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. PT.
We're not on Tuesdays yet. George is currently DMing the Monday show. That's Seekers of El Terrell Buried. We've just finished episode 5, so we're about halfway through, and it's going really well. So that's continuing until the end of March 2021. On Tuesdays, we play from 7 p.m. GMT till sometime, and 11 a.m. PT until
2 p.m. PM.
It's like I don't even need to do it. Next week we'll be hosting another one shot, which Chris is DMing, so very excited for that.
Valentine's.
All of our shows are hosted at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg and twitch.tv/D&D. And you can also find all our content archived on YouTube, where our channel is called Roll Together RPG. We've also got podcast versions of our shows. You can find them if you just search for Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon once again. You can join us over there if you're interested in find out what we're doing. And once again, thank you to our sponsors Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, D&D Beyond, Isle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Warriors of Waterdeep, and Level Up Dice. And do join us on social media as Roll Together RPG. And thank you so much again, once again, to our wonderful players. And thank you everyone for joining us. We will see you next week.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Oh, I'm clapping. I'm waving.